Hello, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So nice to see you again. I missed this. I really apologize. I was not able to do the stream last week because I was out of town. But I am more excited than ever, and I miss my good friends here on the panel. Like I was just telling them behind the scenes that it seemed like forever since the last time we streamed, and I honestly do miss it when I'm not there. But I was at least with Jill's stream Tuesday. I was able to at least listen while I was driving, so I was there in spirit at least. And this is Pop Culture Curator here, back with another stream review um, of Star Trek: The Animated Series. Today we're going to be doing season 1, episode 13, the Ambergris Element, or like Gorilla likes to call it, Aquaman, I guess.
Aquaman in space.
Aquaman in space.
It's a total ripoff of Aquaman.
Gorilla,
even though I've never seen Aquaman, I'm still saying it's a ripoff.
Well, there's a funny thing about that, which I'll say later.
Okay, great. Yes, please do. Yeah, I need to look up the history, but Aquaman may came out first before this. I don't know.
It did.
Yeah. Gorilla's Roundabout, since you're here, good friend, tell us about yourself. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Been fighting with the kid half the night, but otherwise I'm doing good.
Oh, well, that's what kids are for, right? That'll keep you on your toes. And yeah, that sounds like your father. Yes, and it's not the end. You got a lot of years ahead of you. So he's just growing and he's still learning. And good old Scotty R37. So good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks, man. I missed doing this stream last week. I was all prepped for it and excited and everything. And then I had to re-watch the episode. So that is how much I am excited to be here. I watched this episode twice.
I apologize.
I could only find a condensed version of it because for some reason my things weren't working.
Well, Gorilla, let me know next time that happens, and I'll give you access to my files.
Yeah, I gotta blame Canada. The animated series is on Netflix for me here, so...
I think in the U.S. it's on Paramount Plus. Is that correct?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Also on your DVD or Blu-ray.
Also on your DVD or Blu-ray.
Right, which I recommend much higher than the streaming services. It's much better that you own these.
All right. I'm buying a lot of things lately. Stop yelling at me.
No
Yeah, you do have to worry about your budget.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. No hurry, but I do. I view the Blu-ray versions.
What was it? I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, and I saw someone was selling the first 3 seasons of the original series and the animated series complete, and it was $60, I think. So Canadian. So that's what, like $12 American?
More like 50 cents.
Yeah. Was that DVD or Blu-ray?
DVD. That's why I didn't jump on it.
Oh yeah, that's people selling their DVDs when they replace them with Blu-ray versions.
True. But still.
Oh, absolutely.
That's 5 seasons of Star Trek, so.
It is.
I shoulda, I didn't, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No need to apologize. There's always another day.
Rule number 6 there, Scotty. Rule number 6.
What's that, Gorilla?
Never apologize. It's a sign of weakness.
It's a sign of weakness.
The 6th rule? Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
about. It's also a sign of humility.
Please tell me you get the reference there, Scotty.
Well, it wasn't a rule of acquisition.
No. Gibbs's rules.
Gibbs from
NCIS. Yeah.
Now that you mention it, yes, I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
All right, good. I don't have to drive to Canada tonight to smack you.
Well, at least one of you guys understand. I have not heard that reference.
Oh no, me neither. Pop culture. The only thing I know about NCIS is that Scott Bakula is in one of them.
He's in New Orleans.
Sadly speaking.
But you can hear all about it on Gorilla and my new podcast coming out next week. It's going to be the NCIS Chronicles, and it's going to be great. But today we're here for TAS.
Right, let me know when they have NCIS Bakersfield. It seems like they're making out of the city, right?
And they got Los Angeles.
I know they do. That's my point. Is that there's so many spin-offs. It's I don't know. And Jill, how are you doing tonight?
They occupied.
Doing great tonight. Thank you for having me here today. I'm excited to talk about the Ambergris Element.
Ambergris, I believe it's pronounced.
Ambergris. Um, but also, I wanted to say that your presence was missed on the TOS episode last time. I think that you provide a sort of grounding for my show because without you there, I completely forgot to read from the 365 book.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, and I promise I'll do my best to be at every one from now on.
Well, if you can, no, but I'm glad that you went on that away mission. You needed to.
Yeah, and I didn't want to try to get on the panel while I was driving and have my cell phone dropping in and out. I didn't want to. That would just be more of a headache than anything else.
You made the right choice. Just wanted to let you know.
But I did listen to the entire thing, and I'm glad because it was perfect timing. It was right as I was leaving, and it was about a 3.5 hour drive back, which is about the length of your stream. So it was perfect. I really appreciate it.
Nice. I'm glad that worked out. It was a fun show.
Oh, it was absolutely. And go ahead.
Did we say hi to the chat yet?
That's what I was just getting ready to do. Edge of Time is here. Welcome, Edge of Time. Says hello.
Ahoy.
Orla Greg. Orla Greg. Good old Orla Greg. Good to see you back. I'm here for the free popcorn. Well, I'll make sure we have plenty stock there. And that's me saying hello and hail to Edge of Time. And I think I'm running a little behind here. Orla Greg says, oh, it's pop culture, not popcorn. My mistake. Well, I'm sorry. If I get offered popcorn somehow over the YouTube, I would do it.
Don't eat the pop cultures.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would definitely be careful. Orla Greg says, shields up, phasers fire. And good old Scogly's here. Good to see you, Scogly. Says, drink with friends. I believe those are beers.
It's a cheers.
Cheers, friends. Yes. And there's me saying hello to people in the chat. Orla Greg says, hail pop. And Orla Greg says, cheers, Scogly, as everybody's saying hello to each other. And Stream Elements about you better do your job today, which you usually don't. And Orla Greg says, access to pop culture files, call Scully. Which reminds me, thank you, Orla Greg. We may be having trouble with YouTube algorithm not sending out alerts when some of us go live. So if you guys are watching this right now and you happen to know about me, please share this out if you can. Hit the...
Well, if I may assist.
Go for it.
If you guys are subscribed, thank you so much. If you want to go and check and see if you get notifications, there's the bell. And even if the bell is rung, unclick it and then click it again, like a reset. Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Is what I've heard does help to a certain extent.
Well, mine is, it's not even showing for mine, it's not even showing the actual any of the live streams right now. Like it's like no live streams going at all.
So you're not getting any alerts.
Right. If it wasn't for the structured schedule of the people I listen to that actually have a set schedule, I would not know anybody was streaming.
From what I've got on YouTube, in terms of apparently there's 5 people watching. Is it in my notifications as to whether or not I can join?
Well,
let's see.
Well, thank you for the suggestion to click it on and off. That could be a thing that got messed up with the programming. That's totally bad programming, by the way. You have to undo that. But if it does work, then it works.
And for the record, when I go to my homepage on YouTube, you're 4th. So I don't have any issue.
Yeah, it could be that they're using a different flag for that.
Well, again, it could be because I'm Canadian.
Hello, good old LDG. So good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, LDG.
Yeah, I tried to trigger Stream Elements to promote LDG's page, and I don't know why it decided to do Resolute Germs instead. So I need to go in and kick it in the butt and correct that. I apologize, LDG, but I do mean to plug your channel. You have a wonderful channel, sir.
Well, and thank you for shouting out the Phantasmagorium, sir.
Yes, Scotty's channel, Phantasmagorium. Everybody, you'll see links down in the description of each of these wonderful people's channels. If you'd like to check them out, I highly recommend them. LDG says I shut down all the live streams so people can come here. Oh, very cool.
Hack the planet.
That's very generous of you, LDG. Okay, so Jill, I'm going to share your screen. I think we're ready. And like I said, this is episode 13, season 1. of Star Trek, the animated series.
Yeah, the Ambergris incident. For reference to the production, I'll cite from Star Trek: The Official Guide to the Animated Series. And this episode first aired on December 1st, 1973. It was written by Margaret Arman, and she also wrote The Lorelei Signal. About her, the book says, Margaret Arman penned her second episode of the animated series with the Ambergris Element, but it was not as well received as her other script, The Lorelei Signal. She says, I understand some people feel this script is not as strong as The Lorelei Signal. Oh wait, Dorothy Fontana explains. But both Gene Roddenberry and I were pretty satisfied with what she turned in, and we felt it made a good episode. Yes, it was largely underwater, one more time, something we could have never done on the original series.
Right.
Right, which I totally agree. I think that's another reason that brings this episode a highlight.
Yeah, and I do realize that Scotty R37 has been waiting for this series to feel less like Star Trek and more like a Saturday cartoon, and this might be it. I find the underwater exploration to be the next best thing to space exploration, so I really like this episode. And begins with the captain's log. Stardate 5499.9. We are orbiting the planet Argo. Argo was once a land planet, but its surface is now almost completely covered by water. The change was caused by violent seismic disturbances. Our mission is to study the effects which the quakes and other phenomena had on its surface. This knowledge may save millions of lives on a Federation planet identical to Argo, which will soon be undergoing similar transformation. And concerning this captain's log, I can appreciate the scientific study because you get more information from an in-person study, and the scans seem to be insufficient.
All right.
But
I got a lot of problems with this survey mission.
I know you do, but the part that bothers me too is that this similar effect is going on another planet, but we don't get to learn anything about that planet, or if they've considered undergoing any kind of evacuation, or if they're hinging all of their bets on what they learn about from Argo.
Right, Spock does mention that, yes.
And so we get to see a new type of shuttlecraft that was modeled after a catamaran, which is a boat that has two hulls. The shuttle hulls.
HULLS.
Two hulls.
And for people out there, if you're wondering what that means, just Waterworld. Just watch any clip of Waterworld, and you'll know what a catamaran is.
Oh, or the Disco Volante from Thunderball was a catamaran.
True,
as well.
That is true. Yes.
So yeah, it coasts on its hull, like its primary hull, and then it has extended. What are they, like skis?
Well, actually, the book has something about the shuttle. I haven't read it yet, so I could read it now.
You want to take a gamble and find out if the shuttle thing is cool?
I don't know.
You don't
TAS.
have to.
Well, I don't know what you're asking.
Yeah. Can I just mention how ugly the Aqua Shuttle is? AKA
It's
the
Aqua
US
Shuttle.
The what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be modeled after a catamaran. What?
Well, it's a USS USB drive with the cells.
Oh.
Well, which is pretty incredible considering USB drives hadn't been invented yet.
Right. I would say more akin to a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, so it's the USS Marlboro?
Right. But one thing, if I was to criticize, you'd think it would need a nose instead of a flat front, because aerodynamics, you need a little bit of that even in water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the book has a bit about the ship. TAS's master ship designer Bob Klein was again tapped to provide new Starfleet vehicles for the crew to utilize on its mission. As this time, the script called for an armed Aqua Shuttle capable of submerging underwater and an above-water scout ship. A lot of my ship's designs were based on what I knew about Star Trek, Klein explained. I would wrap my head around the thinking of a design of the show, so when I needed to do a new design, I tried to remain true to that. My own personal tastes absolutely entered into my designs. The Aqua Shuttle was a matter of what looked good. I don't remember taking into account a lot of other additional technical requirements. Once I was satisfied what the Star Trek world was, then it was what was cool. That was the thinking.
And in terms of the aqua dynamics of the shuttle, I would say force fields.
Sure, that's a possibility.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, why not, right? And
Well,
thank you for
come
correcting
on.
me on the term.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to be rude.
No, I didn't mean like that. I mean, you're right. Arrow means air. So thank you.
But anyway, let's crash into this water, or actually land quite gracefully.
Yeah, it lands in the water so that the landing party can collect specimens to see how life was affected by the earthquakes.
I
Or
don't know why they
quakes.
don't have to be on the land. Why wouldn't they just beam down to the largest landmass? They said they had one.
Well, they said that it was mostly covered in water, so that's probably wherever
Well,
you're looking.
They were saying that the scans were obstructed by the water, so they had to go underwater for it.
Is that why the sensors don't work? Is because the water has some sort of quality to it?
Yeah. Yes. There's
Okay.
something, some pressure or something like that.
I take it this sort of vessel has never been shown in any other Star Trek iteration. Is that right?
That's right.
That's
Too
right.
bad. Too
Wait,
bad.
can
It's
you go
very
back
cool.
Can you go back one?
Oops.
Can I? Oh, that's not back.
Sorry, I just want to point this out because the first time I watched it, I was just like, "Is that guy based?" Okay, so the guy in the cockpit, the guy on the left, is he based on somebody? Like, who is this guy? I'm just like, he's just, I don't know. He doesn't die, so he's not like a sacrificial red shirt.
That's right. There's no red shirts die in this episode.
And it's just very interesting because it's almost like the detail they put into that guy's face is more than they put into anybody else's. I was like, who is this handsome devil?
I forget his name already.
I don't know.
Maybe he's there. I know, even though they don't say it. Maybe he's there he's a marine biologist or something.
Well, but you know how sometimes when animators have okay, so I have to draw another guy, generic guy. He's going to be the navigator on the Aquamarine shuttle. And okay, hey, Jerry, come here. Like just another producer or another animator. Yeah.
It could be, but they didn't say so in the book.
Well, and I'm just saying, it's one of those things that when watching these old cartoons, it's, where do you get your inspiration for a generic handsome guy? Well, I work with a generic handsome guy. I'll just draw him.
Could be true. But then they find a specimen that is not so amused with being studied.
See,
right, Scogli. And I want to point out, Scogli has an excellent point, saying it's probably the artist, because we've learned in the past that a lot of times the artists insert themselves into these.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was just trying to point out the detail on the helmsman or the navigator, whichever. I don't even know.
Well, sure,
right.
Yeah, he had extra lines on his face and everything.
Right, which means that's why I think it leads to more credence of what Scogli is saying. That may have been the animator.
Could have been.
Vanity, I guess. Vanity. I love this ship, weapons and everything.
Yeah, actually, this is the first time in Star Trek that a shuttlecraft has weapons.
I was wondering that. But, so if I'm correct, it never had weapons in TOS. Is that right? Of Galileo 7 or any of those?
That's right. Yeah, that's going to be the episode tomorrow. But no.
What's the episode tomorrow?
Galileo
7
for the original series on my channel. Yeah.
Okay, so from your memories, let me ask you guys: when did you see the first time you saw an armored or a weaponized shuttlecraft?
TNG? Yeah, it was TNG.
Okay, that makes sense.
Same.
Oh, that's the one that.
Well, no, actually, I watched this first. I watched everything in order, so I saw this first.
My mom was a
Oh, yeah,
TNG.
yeah, right. I agree,
Yes.
Jill.
My mom was a TNG fan, so
Got lucky that way.
we watched mostly TNG.
Yeah. So there's this sea creature that tosses the ship around, and though risky, the crew decide to have a closer look after they stun the creature, and it sinks to the bottom of the sea.
There's a sea creature at the bottom of the sea.
And so they decide, oh, while it's stunned, let's steady it for a bit.
Yes.
And they find out that it has both gills and lungs. But of course, it wakes up and decides to chase Enterprise.
Hey guys, you want to go
Enterprise.
poke at this monster for a bit? Yeah.
Right. Does it? In fact, does that shuttle have a name? I didn't notice.
I think so.
Now we get a better.
Or-
Right. Now we get a better look. It is a little more dynamic and pointy in the front, so that's good. They did take that.
I've only ever heard it referred to as the Aqua Shuttle.
Yes,
Especially, and
that's
it was usually the 500-point question when they usually ask for the name of the shuttle.
Okay.
And it's just referred to as that. It's kind of like Janeway's captain's yacht is only referred to as the captain's yacht.
Oh. Well, here's a. Sorry, I know this is going to be pedantic, but do you know what Captain Picard's captain's yacht is named?
I didn't know he had one.
He did. They used it in Star Trek Insurrection, but
Oh,
there
well,
was
he
another.
plays it.
But there was another one, and it was apparently it's in the Star Trek: The Next Generation technical manual for the Enterprise D. But yeah, if you don't know, shout out in the comments below.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's let the comments play with that one for a while.
Due to the abuse of the creature, the phasers on the shuttlecraft are too damaged, so they don't work anymore. So Kirk asks for a beam out, but before that can happen, the creature chomps on the shuttlecraft and tosses it. And
Yes. Hang on, before you go,
oh,
go back.
there it is. There's a chomping.
There's the chomping, but they're in space.
Well, no, they're on the. Oh, is it nighttime?
For this
Underwater.
shot, it is.
Well, and if they have to beam out, that means they need sensors from the ship in order to beam out. You think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the entire reason they have a shuttle in the first place.
Well, they're able to communicate at first, but then the creature takes a bite out of them and throws them, rawr, and tosses it.
Rawr.
Great action scene. I love this.
You know, that's what I go to for YouTube content. Rawr. Can we just act out these screenshots?
If you
All
want
of this
to.
sound effects.
Curse
Bye.
God.
Yeah, McCoy and Clayton, they both fall into the water.
See, look at him. He's very distinctive.
Yeah, he looks great. Kirk and Spock are passed out, and the shuttlecraft's been mangled, and communications are lost. And then, I guess the creature decides to take the shuttlecraft with him. It's his now.
Yes.
So then we have another captain's log, ship's log, stardate 5504.2, Lieutenant
Dr.
Commander.
McCoy, relaxing with John Hamm.
Lieutenant Commander Scott in command. Captain Kirk and First Officer Spock have been missing for almost 5 days.
Right, 5 days. You think?
5.
Yeah, I thought that was a big huh?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, this episode is
I was.
crazy.
When he said 5, I thought he was going to say hours, and then he said days, and I was like,
Right.
"You're kidding."
Right. So I'm assuming it's not like they just started the search. They've been searching for 5 days and still have been unable to find him, is what I'm guessing. But I think they didn't
That's what
quite.
it says. No, they say that. They say search
Yeah.
parties can find no trace of them or the Aqua shuttle. Dr. McCoy and I are continuing
Hello,
the
Captain.
search
Welcome.
at a greater distance from the attack point. Hey, Captain.
Hey, Captain.
Ahoy.
Captain, is your mic working today? Oh,
Oh, he dropped out.
maybe he'll come back. He's probably having technical difficulties.
Yeah, he says that there have been storms and stuff, so he may not be able to join us.
Okay.
Has he had to fight a sea monster?
Um,
And
no,
Smuggly says,
no, but
Bruce.
I thought he was going to eat some pasta. Yeah, that's what he was talking about a minute ago.
It's kind of like eating a sea monster.
Yeah, both have tentacles.
Okay,
No,
so
they're noodles, you weirdo.
okay. We're supposed. So I guess we need to assume that that first shuttle or aqua shuttle was damaged.
Yes.
But Kirk and Spock did not drown when they were taken under. They were somehow converted before they were drowned, right? I guess.
Yes, somehow. No,
That's
none of
pretty
it's explained. None of it is. This
I
is
know.
this is a very non-Star Trek episode.
I know.
Like the things that are normally touched upon are missed.
Right. When you think about somebody unconscious underwater, I don't think they'd last very long, right?
No,
Well,
they
no,
had.
but that's explained later on, is because when it was pulled down by the sea monster, then that's when the Gungans went and saved.
The Gungans. Where does that word come from?
It comes from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
They're called Aquans in this episode.
But okay, so the Aquans go and they rescue Kirk and Spock and give them the. So it's not that they would, like, they were rescued by the young Aquans.
Yes, but what pop culture is saying that it had to have happened extremely quickly. Like they had to have been the luckiest two Starfleet officers ever.
Right, we're talking about a matter of seconds, not even a minute.
But there's even stuff going on later on in the episode in terms of, you can't mess with those sea monsters. And it's like, we mess with those sea monsters all the time. We know what we're doing. And so when the land dwellers, as far as the Aquans are aware, like this is an incredibly dense episode. So I understand where you're coming from, that it would have had to happen quickly. And what I counter with is, yes, it did.
Yeah, okay. But it isn't
okay.
But it isn't shown or elaborated on.
Right, it's all off screen, right?
It's all off.
It is off, because we're building tension on missing Kirk and Spock.
Also off screen is the fact that the monster took the shuttlecraft down, but it ended up crash landed on the planet again, back on the land. So that down on the planet, Clayton is the name of that guy, one of the guys.
The handsome guy?
I think it's the same guy, so that's him, okay.
Yeah, but since they called them the Aquans, though, might as well just call them Aquamens.
Right, sure.
Oh, now come on, there's women down there too.
Okay, well, they could be Aquamen and Aquawomen.
What?
Sure, I say Gungan and everyone goes monkey nuts.
Yeah, but I established this point before the stream.
That is very true.
Well, I didn't like that either, but I didn't want to take it down because I wanted to continue talking about Clayton finding a total aqua shuttle with Kirk and Spock passed out in the water. Near the water, in the water. Yeah, there it is. So it crashed again.
You know what I don't like? Binoculars.
Well, it's a good thing these aren't exactly binoculars. I forget what they're called. They're called something else.
Like visual sensors or something?
I think there's supposed to be maybe more stronger.
I just thought that the tricorder always did the things that binoculars could do.
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
All right.
But yeah, these are different kind of binoculars. They go to 2 miles.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's similar to the binoculars that Luke used in A New Hope, Star Wars, the first movie, when he was looking for R2-D2 and C-3PO. Maybe they're like long range and they're digital, so they can tell you the exact distance. But you're right. I should be able to be done by the same thing as the tricorder.
So McCoy discovers that their bodies are functioning normally except for their lungs, and Kirk says he can't breathe. And he says, and
he turns into Stromberg from The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, he has webbed hands.
Mm-hmm.
And, well,
can't breathe. Suffocating.
We get the first medical log here. Well, I don't know if there was another medical log, but it feels like the first one. It might be. I don't know. I should have looked that up. Anyway.
Oh no.
McCoy says, medical log, stardate 5506.2. Captain Kirk and First Officer Spock were rescued 48 hours ago. They have no recollection of what happened to them after they were attacked, but medical examinations show an unidentified substance in the bloodstream has affected their entire metabolism and changed them into water breathers. Their internal structure is completely transformed, and even their eyes are covered with a transparent film, like the second eyelid of a fish. So far, all efforts to return them to normal have failed.
I would like to point out that Vulcans already have a second eyelid.
Then they got a third eyelid. Spock has a third one now.
Oh no!
Because now his eyes are covered like with the translucent film. Then he has his two eyelids on top of that.
I guess.
Hello,
His
Captain.
collar's gone flesh coloured. That looks ridiculous.
There we go. Now we hear you.
No.
No,
Oh,
no.
he's got webbed hands. He's the man from
He's
Atlantis.
got webbed hands.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, you got it now, Captain. That's right. He's got webbed hands.
Okay,
The
so
better
let me,
to swim with.
all right, let me speculate here for a second. So they were drugged underwater by the sea creature. The
Yeah.
people down below converted them so they wouldn't drown, and then put their body
Yes.
back up on the shore so they would suffocate, right?
I know they were. No, here's the weird thing, and I was wondering about this myself. It's an excellent question. So when they find Kirk and Spock, they are in like the shores, but they're lying in the water. And so McCoy is like, get them up. Like,
Right.
they might still be alive. And so he pulls them onto shore, as you would, considering that you think that they are going to be air breathers. And that's when they start reacting negatively.
You're right. You're right. So what we're speaking of is right
You got
before this, they showed a scene where they were laying in shallow water face down.
Yeah,
you
no,
think-
face up, because we needed to know that they were they.
Yes, that's
Oh,
right.
I thought
They
it was
were.
down.
Not
They were
everyone's
in the
going to
water.
recognise Kirk from the back of his head.
Only Spock. Wait.
Hang on.
Yeah, strike that.
And Scogli says, "This is my aqua shuttle, and her name is Bruce." That's a very butch name.
Well, Bruce.
But we don't get to see how this transformation took place. We didn't see how the Aquans changed them. We just know it's some kind of
Mutation.
well, it's a mutation that occurs
Apparently
Due to some-
instantaneously, right? Instantly.
almost
Right.
instantly.
Yeah, not transgenerational. It's instant.
Well, it took at least 5 days.
They would have drowned underwater if that was the case.
Well, no, but I'm saying I think that the Aquans actually saved them right off and then did. Well, we'll get there.
Wait, you think they
Okay.
took them out of the water and then came back
No.
later with the tools to mutate them? That doesn't make sense.
They couldn't
No,
take
no,
them out of
no.
the water because they can't breathe air, right? The people
Right.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
the ocean is a desert with its life underground.
Oh my, no name.
Well, I thought
No.
it was a virus that changed them.
Okay,
virus.
we'll get there.
No, it's
'cause
not a virus. It
the
was
young ones saved them. So when the sea monster brought down the aqua shuttle, then the young ones went in, rescued the air breathers, took them to their science camp, and then made them into water breathers for their own good. How they did this, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the non-Star Trek part of this episode. We never get to see that part of the episode. How the mutation happened would have been the number one thing you see in a Star Trek episode.
Well, and this is a part that really kind of like in further inspection of the show, this doesn't make any sense because I want a layer of water around Kirk and Spock with the energy belts. And
Or
that's
at least,
how they go around the ship.
Well, at
Like,
least what they have later on in the episode, they kind of have the aqua lung helmet thing.
Right,
Oh,
they do bring it into play. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
do.
what,
They do when they do show that.
yeah, that's how the Aquans get on the bridge at the end of the episode. But
That's true, but they never use that for Kirk and Spock.
they should have. Why would they want to stick them in a box? You're absolutely right.
That's the entire argument that is being had in this sort of water brig. It's like, what kind of life is this? Living
Yeah,
in a
this
cage.
is more like a prison.
I'm in an
Hey,
aquarium.
I got a question here.
Sure.
We know that there's a couple species in the Federation that are aquatic members there. At this point in time, do you know if any of them are aquatic? Like I know the aquatics, the Zindi aquatics aren't, but
I don't know myself because you guys are more familiar with the later series than I am.
And I'm not that well acquainted with the aquatic branch of the Zindies.
So they've had crew members aboard their ships that only breathe water. Is that right, Gorilla?
yeah, because you got like the Zindi aquatics there, but I'm not sure when they joined the Federation there because we were at war with them in Enterprise for like 2 episodes.
Then
Yeah,
that's probably when they
whole
No,
were
season.
like a season.
So that's when they
a
were
whole
introduced.
season.
I
So
don't
they
know
were-
either.
So they
But
were
there
introduced
was
in Enterprise. Is that right?
a couple others too.
Well, there are many. There's insectoid Zindi. There's aquatic Zindi. There's the reptilian Zindi.
No, I'm talking just aquatic members of
No,
the
I
Federation.
understand. I don't think that the Zindi and the humans ever made up.
Yeah, they did because they were part
Or
of the
adults.
Federation by the time we get to TNG era.
They don't bring up
'Cause
the
they-
Zindi in TNG.
No, but Daniels was talking about that Zindi was part of the war against the Spear Builders, and I believe that was supposed to be right after TNG.
And if I can mention, Scogli says mutate.
Mutate.
New.
So
Well, you think not only that, but somebody could have said, "Hey, why don't you guys just wear swimming trunks in there? You don't need your full clothing."
yeah, they're still wearing
They're still on
their
duty.
uniforms.
Right. And we all know how uncomfortable wet clothes are.
Not if you're in a pool.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
Depends on your
Context
preference
is
there.
everything.
It's going to drag you down if you try to swim, though. You know how that is. And a little shaping here and there.
The only reason you're afraid of being dragged down is because you can't breathe underwater. Kirk and Spock can currently
can.
breathe underwater.
Currently,
I speak mainly of I speak mainly of the shaping.
But McCoy can't figure out exactly what was done to mutate Kirk and Spock, but he does know that whatever it was had to have been injected by an intelligent life form, because it was they see that they were changed at different points. So much like the tentacle creature, no intelligent life forms were picked up by the scanners, only fish. And Spock explains they did fail to indicate the large marine creature that attacked us. Perhaps the readings are incomplete, blocked by underwater pressure forces. Oceans are less turbulent at greater depth. Such conditions would be more suitable to intelligent forms.
And
so,
that is a good point.
yeah, that's the most explanation we get for anything in this episode, I think.
Yeah.
Well, in
Mc-
terms, yes. In terms of the not being able to pick up the civilization that lives under the sea.
When it comes to lines like that, you could almost smell. That was probably written by Dorothy Fontana.
Oh yeah, that definitely, that just to add something that would make sense.
Yes, she's the one that would do that, right? Which is, once again, another thing sorely missing from current Trek.
Absolutely.
And Scogli says it must be extended universe, and Ola Greg says perhaps so.
And of course, like you guys have said, McCoy says they can't explore without the Aqua Shuttle, but of course Kirk and Spock are the exception. And I know one of your counters, Scotty R37, is that they could use the life support belt. But I think the problem is that the life support belt only gives you the oxygen. There's no indication that it accounts for the underwater pressure that increases the further down you explore.
or you'd only get the bends from pressure.
No.
Yeah. What's that?
You know what? I don't. Okay, so what is the life support belt designed to do?
Well, they've never really
They
showed.
don't.
Right, we know they can supply air when they're in a non-air environment, and it also can prevent very heavy items from crushing you. So what we've established so far, I'm not sure what else.
So, based on the nature, if very heavy things are prevented from crushing you while wearing the environmental belt, then water pressure should not be an issue.
Yeah. Theoretically, depending if they're designed for that, they could, right? You should be able to go down deep, and you think that there would be a set pressure within inside the belt.
And if you want to dismiss it, just say, you know what? The pressure at that depth is too much for our environmental belts to handle.
That's what they should have said in this episode, but all they say is that our people cannot go to those depths. That's the only explanation we get.
Right, and I'd like to think that those belts also control temperature.
I would assume so, yeah.
Right, so you can go like in a very hot area and you can control the temperature within the belt, hopefully.
So
either way, it doesn't matter because Kirk and Spock have superpowers.
Yeah, and Kirk and Spock,
Mhm.
yeah, they're the only ones who can do it. So it's up to Kirk and Spock to save themselves.
Do they get cold? Do they have a new homeothermic metabolism?
That would be
Yeah,
great to learn about.
Right, I don't
The
think
metabolism has changed. They do
I
say
don't know.
that.
I don't know if they've mentioned the temperature of the planet or the water.
No, they
Her name is,
don't.
her name
Well,
is Bruce, supposedly.
Deeper water
we
it gets,
can-
colder it is. That's
Well, we
just,
can confirm one thing. It's above freezing.
Yes,
it is above freezing. True story.
and below boiling. Yes.
It's a
Fair
big
enough.
margin.
And so here they are in the aqua lung things. So this is what they should have been walking around the ship in, like Scotty said.
Jethro Tull couldn't have been more proud.
So why
Yes, well,
why
it's
didn't
tough.
they?
I don't want to be trapped in
Just
here.
to be dramatic. Just to be dramatic. So they could say, I don't want to spend my whole life in an aquarium. I can't get
Here's
anything
this-
done in the
Here's
ship
this
this
thing
way.
that
He
makes it
does.
so that you don't have to live your entire life in an
Yeah.
aquarium. Thank
See,
God. Let's find out
I
how
could have
to
fixed this
not
whole
live in an
thing.
aquarium.
I could have fixed this whole thing real easy. Could have Kirk demanding to get the aqua lugs there so he can go to the bridge and control the situation from the bridge, and Spock can go. That may not be a viable option, blah blah blah, because they don't last that long or whatever.
That's right.
Boom.
That would have been great.
So-
They could have just said, this is a temporary solution. It only works for an hour or so. So we can't live like this. That would have worked
Yeah.
just as well as the aquarium. It would have made a little more sense.
Yeah. Although
Right.
I
I
did
wonder
like
how
the
many-
sound design. Sorry.
Oh, good. I was just going to say, I wonder how many lines were in the original script that had to be cut out due to time.
Dude, when I tweeted out this very stream, I was like, get ready for 45 minutes of Star Trek in 25 minutes. Like, there
right.
is so much stuff that if they had more time, it would have been more interesting. This is absolutely Saturday morning cartoon, but this is the kind of episode where it is. I think it's great Star Trek. It's just, all right, you got to have it in a pill form. You don't get to have a full meal.
Right.
Condensed Trek.
The
Mhm.
dead trick.
Well,
Right,
instead
then-
of taking one idea and fleshing it out into something that would make a really compelling Star Trek episode with everything explained, it gives you lots of little things that put together. It could be several Star Trek episodes, but
Well,
we don't get to
don't-
learn much about any of those points.
right. So, do these guys get captured?
Yes.
All
So-
right.
So they dive into the ocean, and we meet the aliens, the Aquans.
Yes.
And there's your Aquaman shot.
Ba, 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 ba. Aquaman.
And the more.
You think it would be easier to swim without shoes on, but oh well.
Well, I think that was one of the production notes that they used tracings of Aquaman for this show.
Well, yeah, they did have an Aquaman show back then. Super
Did
Friends.
Aquaman wear shoes?
No. But Super
I'm
Friends
pretty
was
sure
popular back
Aquaman
then.
wore shoes.
He did?
Yeah.
Maybe on land.
It's easier to animate.
So here are the
Probably
Aquans. They got green fins and they're green.
Yeah. What kind of people are these? They're green.
They are
For all the
green.
planet core.
They're gathering food when they spot Kirk and Spock. They want nothing to do with them. And they say, as they say, go away, air breathers. You're not wanted here.
You thinking we be friends? Me's a liking that.
Right. This is a slight Saturday morning way of dealing with racism.
Air
Really?
breathers.
And this is also where we get the first indication of a generational divide when they say that the young Aquans saved Kirk and Spock. But the elders clearly don't really approve of this behavior.
Exactly. The teenagers rescued them.
The teenagers
Star Trek
rescued him,
meets Footloose
mutated him.
meets 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
And Archie.
So does that make Spock Jughead?
No, he's Reggie.
I
Well,
always saw him as Jughead. Reggie, Scotty.
So there's this rift in the seabed and where the Aquans live. Kirk and Spock respond. They say, an underwater civilization. Oh wait, first they go through a tunnel. I forgot about the tunnel. And here's the underwater civilization, capable of fantastic architecture, medical triumphs, unheard of in our galaxy.
God,
Why
they really
should-
splurged with the art budget on that one. That is pretty good.
Yeah, they do some pretty good paintings and art in this show.
Oh, and those looks like coral reefs. I like the variety of colors. There's a lot of detail.
Well, and also, like, that looks like that's a good painting of coral.
It is. I mean, 'cause, we could always show examples compared to other filmation work of the day, like Superman, Spider-Man, and Friends, and all those. And this is
Yeah.
on a much higher level.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
much more detail.
Yes. Well, and as you've mentioned before, pop culture, this is part of the reason why they canceled this is because it's so expensive.
Yeah, NBC once again strikes back.
So Kirk wonders
I'm
why.
altering the budget, Roddenberry. Pray I
Hail.
don't alter it further.
Hail Pacific 414. Edge of Time says toss California in. I totally agree. Edge of Time says ahoy Pacific 414.
The
Hey,
voyage of
Pacific.
time.
Yeah, share this out, guys. People are not getting their alerts for the live broadcast in YouTube right now.
True
So if you
story.
guys are hearing my voice, please share this out. Any help is appreciated. I don't like asking for a lot, but if you can share, that would be wonderful.
Well, the worst part
Your
about
brother
doing
get
a
a
show,
retweet.
the worst part about doing a show when no one listens is that this might as well be a Zoom call.
That's
There you
true.
go.
But I do.
And this is
and-
far too entertaining and informative to be just a Zoom call. Don't you think, folks in the chat? Yeah.
I do, and that's and that's always been something that like I've sort of subscribed to is that we'd be talking about this anyway. Like it's so nice to be able to hang out and talk about Star Trek the animated series that like we get to hang out and talk about it, and we'd be doing this anyway. But part of the reason that we do this, I said do, is because we all get to hang out and talk about this together. And so
And our love for Star Trek.
exactly.
Yeah.
So share it. It's because
yeah.
we want to meet more people like you.
Yeah, that's why, I give Bird of Prey credit. Shout out to Bird of Prey 5 because he has to review things that he doesn't like when he does Star Trek. And that takes a lot of guts, which I don't have, unfortunately. I try not to cover things I don't like.
Well,
Bird-
Tell me about good things.
he can't help it because he's got to watch everything that they put the Star Trek label on. It's a
Oh.
thing that is a part of him, and it means so much to him that he has to watch everything.
Well, it
And
means-
then he doesn't
it means
like
a lot-
it.
Poison chalice, if ever there
Well,
was.
it means a lot to us too. I mean, he wears that honor and that badge. I mean, he deserves
Yes.
the credit.
It means a lot to me too. I agree.
I admire it.
Right. That way I can find out all the bad news without having to actually suffer through it myself.
True.
And Phil says, and it's really good to have a huge backlog of wonderful content for people to go back and listen to when you're huge. When you're huge, yes, that is true. And
I'm
Scogli
huge
says,
now.
this is called evergreen content, and it's a thing that a lot of channels are lacking. Well, I agree. We do try to be unique here and insightful.
Also,
Wait,
I'd like
that's
to point
two
out
things.
We got Spock with the webbed hands. So this is all like brand new animation cells for this episode. This is like some people say that you're reusing the sort of walking from left to right that happens so many times on the animated series, but they're making new stuff all the time.
Like when you hear comments like that, it's because usually they haven't really paid attention, because there is more variety than what a lot of people try to paint towards this show, which is sad. But you have to be like us. You have to actually watch and notice the attention to detail.
Well, I know. Did you see Clayton?
Clayton, yes.
That was new animation.
Yeah, so Kirk asks, why should they be afraid of us, Spock? And Spock responds, it is quite possible, Captain, that they find us grotesque and ugly, and many people fear beings different from themselves. And so as they try to explore, they're caught in a net.
They think we're fugly.
Yeah, probably. And they're brought to the Aquan High Tribune of the ruling tribe. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. This is where I'm going to need you to explain what is going on in this episode.
The Council of 12 or whatever it is.
I'm going to mute myself and you guys try.
I have it written down here, but I can't say it without laughing.
Yeah, how effective
not to laugh.
How effective is a net like that underwater?
Incredibly.
It's got to have a weight somehow.
Right.
It's got to be pinned down somehow.
Right, or made of a heavy material.
They can make mammals into water breathers. I don't think that net technology is top of their problems.
No, it's not.
Okay, they're introduced to Damar, the High Tribune of the ruling tribunal.
The Chicago Herald and Tribune, what?
Like,
Hey, have I been muted this whole time? Have I been
Yes.
muted this whole time?
Oh!
Shit.
You wonder why it was so quiet in here?
Shit. But I was just saying there. I was trying to say that the fishing nets probably work the same way, or their nets probably work the same way our fishing nets do here. But I was wondering why Jill kept talking while I was trying to talk.
we couldn't hear you. We couldn't hear you.
Because I'm very rude.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. I'm talking and like, what's going on? And I notice, I muted myself. That's right.
Yeah, Jill, you're very rude considering you look at my comment and go, I'm not even going to read that.
No, because your comments are... You were talking about murder.
Was I wrong?
What?
Was I wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway, meanwhile, back in Gungan Village.
Yeah, back in the I can't.
The Aquan.
I got
The
the
Aquan
giggles.
Council
I can't take
has
a minute.
now captured Kirk and Spock.
Yeah.
And they are like, you come from the surface. And they're like, no, surface of a different world. We're not from around here.
Yeah, they think that these are air-breathing spies.
Yeah. Well, and then they say, like, I don't know if it's now, but they're like, last time we had to deal with air breathers, they messed us up.
Right. Kirk and Spock tried to say we come in peace, but
Shoot to kill.
Yeah, no kill eye.
but they say that air breathers are never coming in peace. They're not peaceful. But then we get another generational gap with the younger Aquans not wanting to be bound by the ancient records. So that's a theme in this episode.
Damn hippie Aquans.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they want open borders. No, wait, hang on.
And finally Kirk and Spock explain that they're not from Argo, like you said, from another world. And all they want to do is reverse their mutations. And Damar claims that's impossible because the process only works one way, according to him.
Oh.
But these guys are the antagonists, obviously. The older ones are.
Did he kill Zial?
Zial?
Yeah.
Huh?
Deep Space
For
Nine?
GS9?
Yeah.
So once you transition to webbed fingers, you can't transition the other way.
Oh.
That's what
trying
he
to figure out.
says.
They're
He's
trying to
lying.
figure out.
He's a lying liar face.
Oh, shame.
McCoy says, sensors just gave us an update reading, Scotty. There's a sea quake due in that area. So, okay. But still, these guys are still talking. I guess I should have been scrolling through the slides. So we have a few slides to look at these guys for a minute before we get back to the ship.
I've never seen Kirk and Spock in the fishnets before.
Oh.
But also, like, there's a lot of stuff, and it's like, so what do you believe? How do you have a judgment upon their story? This is a tribunal, a trial, and they're like, we don't know.
And the voice is done by Major Barrett.
Yep.
And Gorilla Random Talk, would you like to read out this chat?
Can you give me a second?
Sure. I'll read it. Skogly in the chat says, Damar killed Zyle. Yes, I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right because I don't know who they are.
Damar oh my God, I was so
yes.
mad at him when he did that. That was just so unnecessary.
I was waiting for you to get here.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about it because it's spelled differently. It's
how is it spelled for the? How is the Aquan?
It's Domar. So I was confused for a bit.
Dom.
I should have seen. I should have seen the similarity in the name, but I didn't.
So you guys are speaking of DS9, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
There's a character named Damar that becomes head of the Cardassian government there, but he kills Gul Dukat's
and
daughter.
It completely breaks Gul Dukat apart, and he becomes completely insane for the rest of the series.
Yep.
They totally ruined Gul Dukat.
Well, they did, but at least we know exactly the point where it happened.
You know what? You can hear all about it next week on my podcast, Cardassians Tonight.
Okay, so we're finally at the part where Scotty and McCoy are still looking, or I guess they found a sea quake due in the. Oh, okay. McCoy says sensors gave us an update reading, Scotty. There's a sea quake due in that area, a bad one. Complete topography changes.
Those sensors that weren't working before?
Yeah, well, the sensors are detecting a sea quake in the area. Yeah. So even though the sensors can't detect certain kinds of life forms, it can detect topographical and oncoming geological catastrophes.
Okay, but that is the entire reason the Enterprise is here, yes?
Yeah, because of the similar geological catastrophe that's going to happen on another world, so they're just studying this world to try to learn about it.
Right. So this explanation right now in the middle of the episode says that we never even had to beam down because sensors are indicating the thing that we're investigating is going to happen.
Yeah. The only reason they went down is to study the life forms because they couldn't get good readings on the life forms, which have what to do with.
They were not
quakes.
trying.
Nothing
they
really.
were trying to find the geologic. They were trying to find out about a planet that was land that was eventually submerged, and they're trying to prevent it to an identical planet to Argo. Right?
Yeah, you'd be absolutely right if this episode made any sense. But no, they really were. Okay. They really were studying the life forms. What that has to do with the geology of the matter, I'm not sure.
I am in agreement with you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, more or less. But the episode, they just said, hey, we want to know how these topographical changes affected the wildlife, and so they did.
Right. I wanted to bring up Hail Citizen. Hail Citizen of the Universe 333. So good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Are those guilds? Yes, are those guilds like Kevin Costner in Waterworld or something? I believe they are. And Citizen also says, sorry, I haven't seen this show. Oh my goodness.
Don't let that stop you.
Right. Now you have a whole new world to experience. So we highly recommend.
Fantastic point of view.
Right. We highly recommend you watching this and checking out our other reviews. We'll be covering the complete series, and I think you'll enjoy them. And Citizen also says, hey, Pop, hope you've been well. I have. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and likewise, I hope you have too. Sorry.
Meanwhile, Scotty on the Aqua shuttle.
Oh, right.
right?
Okay, so they said, so in about 4 hours, this quake is going to happen. But Kirk and Spock aren't going to report back until those 4 hours are up. So Mr. Scott has to try to reach them before then. So,
Why are you so formal? You've known this guy for years. Why can't you call him Scotty?
I don't know. I just started being formal for some reason. And
No.
so they have this directional
go back,
marker.
go back one.
Montgomery.
Horrible cinematography.
Aw. Well, that protruding device that we've always wondered what those things are. Yeah, blocking.
You
bones
hate
of
that protruding device.
Well, because I don't want to bump into it if something happens. I'm walking by or the ship is jostled.
You've mentioned it before, and also that damn door is still open.
Yeah, I know.
They anticipated AirPods. Another great anticipation by the Trek.
Maybe the door is open because they're trying to air it out.
Maybe. It smells like fish in here.
Okay.
And we have a miniature Simon. I don't know if any of you guys remember the game.
Oh, yeah. Simon Says.
Well, no. It had 4 buttons, and it would play a tune.
Yeah, Simon.
And they would light up, right? And then you would try to...
Yeah, Simon Says.
Try to repeat the same sequence.
Yeah. I had that game, too.
Yeah.
Oh. So I'm not totally crazy.
No, you're not totally crazy at all. They kept
Oh,
making that game.
Back in
Totally.
Christmas of '78, it was the thing.
Right, this is before Simon, right? Simon was invented later.
Oh, this was before Simon?
Yes,
It's the same thing, though.
It is the same, similar. It looks the same.
It's BS before Simon.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, this is not a Simon toy. This is a directional tracker. And I guess marker, actually. It calls a directional marker.
Oh, a compass.
Or maybe, no,
beacon.
it's like, I guess there's some kind of tracking device on Kirk and Spock they don't mention that is detected by this thing.
And who would have thought we actually had this technology now on all our phones?
Mm-hmm.
Back
That's a
at
great
council.
point. I didn't mention that. Good job. So, and the Aquans discover that Scotty and everybody are there too. So, but to prove that they're not of this world, Kirk and Spock say, "Hey, come look at our shuttlecraft. It has the name of our starship on it, so you know we're not from here."
Oh my
but
God.
Like
then
that can't be faked.
But then Scotty's appearance has spooked the older Aquans too much. They no longer want to listen due to fear, so they're too afraid now. So they decide to strand Kirk and Spock on the surface under a net, and I guess leave them to die.
Who's a net?
This net right here,
Oh, pardon me.
the
Right.
net, the black net,
Yes.
all over them. And so one of the
And,
younger
Citizens, I just want to mention real quick, Citizens of the Universe says that device reminds me of the object in John Carter that transported John Carter to Mars. I think you meant that Simon machine we were referring to. Maybe at one time Mars had oceans. Mars definitely had oceans at one time. Yes, that has been proven. Sorry, go ahead, Jill.
That's okay. Wow. John Carter's cool. I like Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Yes. Too bad the movie was such a failure.
Yeah, I heard it was good though.
Yeah.
So I never seen it though. I just read the
The problem is the
pulp
story.
novel.
Well, the problem is that story goes back so long that by the time that movie came out, everyone was like, "I've seen this plot before. I've seen that plot before. This one and that one," and all those plots had derived from that original book.
Mhm.
So it was a little late. It's, that's the only thing.
Yeah,
People
I guess
thought- people-
it was something that should have been made in the 70s.
Right. People thought that it ripped off ideas from the shows that ripped off ideas from it. So, but that's just how it goes, I guess.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
There's
And
nothing
Ugly
new
says-
under the sun.
But I don't know.
Nope.
I feel like it should have worked. It's a
According-
really fun book.
According to Shakespeare, there's only 50 plots. Scoglie says the Green Hornet. Okay.
So Ryla, this is Ryla. She decides to free them. She's one of the younger Aquans.
Mhm.
Wow.
But you can't do it. It's attached to the rock too hard. So
There's,
anyway,
there's something
here's-
really topical I need to bring up if possible. Is this
Yeah.
was made back in the day and for centuries. the human race, we always thought, that yes, we get old and we get curmudgeon and stuck in our ways, but the youth of the new generation is always here to save us. That will be the future. But
Right.
now I look at now and with social media and everything, I think it's the opposite. I think that we need to fear what the younger people are going to be doing to what we have now. I think we're going to lose everything we have because of them. I think it's opposite of what we always thought it would be. But that's just an opinion.
Depends
I
on the generation.
I
Yeah,
sympathize.
that I agree with.
I
I have
sympathize.
faith in my teenager.
Well, and I'm sort of in
Bless you,
captain's
sir.
boat.
You're teenagers in the minority.
I sympathize with
Well,
your
that's true.
reservations, but I still have optimism, and I still think that and like even when we're talking about Star Trek, humanity now, like we are looking forward, even to get to a Star Trek future, we are looking forward to another world war. In terms of Space Seed, in terms of the Third World War, the post-nuclear Holocaust, any of this stuff.
You
Wait,
think
wait,
you're-
wait! I thought the eugenics wars and the Third World War were two different wars.
Yeah, we've got to get the Third World War done, then we've got to have the eugenics war.
Well, either way, we're past due on the eugenics war, and the Third World War is still a distant
Tuesday.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Tuesday.
all right. So am I reading this right? You guys think in order to get
Hang on,
past
it is Tuesday.
our differences and our difficulties dealing with each other, we need a war?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I was just asking if that's what you meant.
What I'm saying is that in terms of the fictional history of Star Trek, it has already been an overcoming of things, which is why, and I kind of subscribe to you guys when it comes to quote unquote the filth. It's like, no, what you guys are addressing in the 23rd century or
Big
the
citizen.
25th century, we already took care of that. That's what is the exploration that is before us, not charting stars and nebula, but the actual expansion of existence. Like,
Well, my fear is who mentally, and we're talking about who has the mentality and the are in the right place to push the button and end it all for everybody. I just have my doubts in that now. I mean,
but
look
it
who we
won't end
currently
it all
have.
for everybody. Like even, and this is at the cornerstone of Gene Roddenberry's belief, is that yeah, we may blow ourselves up, but you know what? The best will come back and make humanity continue forward.
So the
Like
best
they're
is
gonna
those
do
people.
great things.
The best are those people that could afford to build bunkers and live down there, right? That are prepared for this the whole time, because it's us on
Hey
the surface
man,
who's gonna die.
I'm so unhealthy. I don't think that nuclear fallout would affect me.
Exactly. Oh, do we have a nuclear war? I didn't even notice.
I'm sorry. I have to wear sunscreen to bed.
Ahoy! Edge of Time says ahoy to citizen of the universe, and citizen of the universe says ahoy Edge of Time. I'm sorry,
You just
Jill.
contradicted what
we're
you
getting
just
off
said,
on a tangent.
but I love it. Great job.
I'm sorry
well
about
said
going off on a
about
tangent.
Star Trek, Scotty. It was beautiful.
Cheers, lady.
So
No, I agree with
Scott-
Star Trek outlook. I wish it was our future. Believe me.
me too.
I believe it still can be.
The future's unwritten. That's the pleasure of not being a god. We don't know. Or a time traveler.
I still
Right.
believe
But I don't think
I
we should
still
turn down
think-
our path.
the marketplace of ideas. I think that there will be. I still have common sense, rationality coupled with emotion is going to be how we move forward. And I really look forward to it. I think right now we're in an emotional, it's very, like right now we live on a planet that is Spock and McCoy arguing constantly.
And Edge of Time says the great filter.
I've never found it.
I'd say it's gotten to the point where we can't trust the media anymore. So yeah, I think there's a big filter up there from the truth.
Well, apparently you
No,
can't
no,
trust
what
your
he's
tricorder.
talking-
You got to use my binoculars.
No, what he's talking about is there's a theory that the reason there's no advanced civilizations is because once they come so advanced, they wipe themselves out. Kind of like we
And-
got like the nuclear bomb and all that could wipe. We got enough nuclear bombs in the whole world to wipe us out 10 times over. Stuff like that.
Gorilla,
Okay, well-
I'm so glad that we had to have this conversation in the middle of the Aquaman episode.
No, but
Right.
that makes sense. But I don't think we can assume that all civilizations have destroyed themselves. I'm sure there's some that are peaceful. And welcome, Mike.
That's in some parts of the episode, like how they don't explain a lot of the science. It's not like Star Trek, but in the parts where they have the generational divide and talking about how that has an effect on society, that part is kind of Star Trek, and that's how that all this whole conversation happened.
Welcome, Mike. I hope I pronounced it right. Shriver says, "Hey,
Yeah,
guys."
hey, Mike Shriver. Yeah. I just let him know about it there. He was messaging me there.
I hope you
You're
enjoy it,
welcome.
Mike. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, Mike. Please, if you'd like it, sub to the channel and hit the alert button and share this out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen the animated series, but it's a good show.
Oh yes, but if you like Star Trek TOS, this is the last 2 years of their mission that we were able to get from the live action show.
Unless your favorite character is Chekhov.
Unless you're Chekhov, right?
Oh man, yeah, good point.
Citizen of the Universe says the Earth and the solar system go through cycles, and humanity gets reset every 5,000 years or so. Right, but you're talking about the people on Earth. Mike Shriver says, "Thank you, glad to be here. It is our pleasure." Citizen of the Universe says, "One comment, and we're back to the Stone Age. That is true, or one mistake by one person." Mike Shriver, that's correct, Shriver, or either, right? Mike Shriver says, "I never did."
If we had nuclear war at the same time as the comet hit, then be like, "Oh well, it's going to fuck up anyway." I feel better.
Well, there was an asteroid.
I like to have nuclear war and a comet.
Yeah, there was a comet there that about caused a nuclear war there with Pakistan and India. There, Bill exploded like 2 hours earlier or 2 hours later. I can't remember what it was. There, this was when tensions were really high between Pakistan and India. A war could have been started because of that.
Don't say you're easy on me. You're about as easy as a nuclear war.
Now listen to this, guys. Mike says, "I never did, shockingly." He referring to watching these, but I've been watching Lower Decks, though. So we have somebody here who has experienced Lower Decks before they've seen Star Trek TAS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I experienced Lower Decks before TAS.
Yeah, me too.
That's fascinating, I guess.
Lemon.
And a citizen of the universe says, if there was a global EMP and nobody had any electricity, we'd move back to the Stone Age or worse. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially because now we're not trained to survive out there without power. We're not like our great grandfathers who knew how to start a fire, who knew how to hunt, who knew what plants and what not to eat, and what we're not aware.
You must relearn the old ways.
Fast.
Yeah, if my central air and heat goes out, I'm under torture.
Right. Exactly. Mike says, I think in 2027, then again in 2034, the same comet is coming back around. Yes, they usually do in their orbital path. Lemon Pie, hello, Lemon Pie. Hail, curator. So good to see Lemon Pie. And Lemon Pie says, "Citizen, hey there." And Lemon Pie saying hello to everybody. And there we got to even get Scogly, says Lemon. And Scotty, Scogly says, "Cheers." To the Universe says, "Hey, Lemon Pie." And Captain Hale, I'm guessing is what the top hat means.
That is indeed. Thank you, Lemon Pie. Hail to thee. Yeah.
There we go. I think I'm caught up, Jill. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I just wanted to add another way. Yeah, the other tangent is also a supermassive volcano could go off, also killing lots of people, and also putting enough ash in the air that we can't get any more. We won't get any more crops for a while.
Right. So
yeah, supermassive volcano, brilliant. Buy tea bags now.
Or I live in California, earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jellystone Park. That's going to go off, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
There was a great punchline that I heard from a joke, and I forgot who told it. And it was like the downfall of human civilization is going to be some scientist at a super awesome place. And he's going to push a button, and he's going to be like, "Oh, man, it worked." And then nothing. Like just destroying the planet. Like Krypton.
So he pushes the button and says, "Oh, it worked," and he looked out the window and
sees
the world destroyed.
Well, no, because in terms of energy crises and such things, It's like at a certain point, you're like, oh my God, we have infinite energy. Yes. Can you contain it? No. But it works.
Oh well, there's questions and debates about that, but I've learned living in California, they intentionally make things scarce so that they can profit off them. That they've invented better alternatives, and we've had them, but they've canceled them in order for more profit. Unfortunately, Lemon Pie says Jill Candy, I think that is, and Mike says Yellowstone goes boom. I wouldn't want to be out west where I am. Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. We can continue with the episode.
That would
I
be
know. Yes.
swell.
Right.
We could, right?
Okay, everybody.
So-
Spotlight is back on Jill.
Yeah. So,
The
not
episode,
necessarily.
actually.
I don't really. Yeah, the episode spotlight is
Do you
back
guys
on the
do you
episode.
guys find Jill's voice grating?
Very soothing and beautiful. Yes. And
Anyway,
tactful
Jill, if
and
you could
logical.
continue, please.
Uh,
I was being facetious. Don't take that seriously.
So Scott warns of a sea bottom quake that is due to devastate and destroy the entire area. And Ryla recalls something similar. I kind of have allergies today, so if it is, that could be part of it. Ryla recalls that something similar happened before that caused land masses to sink in the past. And in order to survive, some of the air breathers decided to mutate themselves by what they call Sergo-op. That's the only explanation we get. It's Sergo-op. To become Aquans until the mutations become hereditary. And so this frightening geological disaster made all the air breathers savage and violent. And so they would hunt and kill the Aquans. And Ryla reveals that there's a way to mutate back to the surface form, but that the legends are sealed in sunken ruins. So she does, of course, say she shows them where they are, but she says that it goes against all ordainments. And about this, Spock says, fascinating. Obviously, an entire portion. Oh wait. Before I say what Spock says, we have to get to the actual city. So I actually haven't caught up with the images that I'm showing here of Ryla talking to Kirk and Spock about what happened to them in the past and how the quakes changed their entire world. And so here she is showing them the way into their ancient ruins. So the current pulls them in. And then Spock says, fascinating. Obviously, an entire portion of the continental shelf sank within a few minutes. This may be the sealed place Ryla mentioned. I believe this is an entrance panel, Captain. And so they swim down a staircase.
Yeah, I think this is a reference to Atlantis, directly almost.
Yes, this is how I say that this is Star Trek with Atlantis.
Yes.
And another and another Aquaman shot.
Have you ever swam upstairs?
Lemon Pie says hello, gorillas.
Oh, hey. Hi, Lemon Pie.
And Mike agrees. It is a relaxing voice, Jill, no doubt. I was stressed now. I'm an island of tranquility in a sea of chaos. LOL.
Thank you. And
I was being facetious, chat.
I bet you were. I know you were.
Was.
So I didn't get a full picture of this room, but there was one in the book that this is about, so it'll show up in a minute here.
Oh, is that like my stars?
Yes.
This is so cool. It looks like the Hippocratic Oath thing, the medicine symbol.
That's precisely what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Spock refers to that as such.
As ancient medical symbols. And they grab a couple canisters that appear. They don't appear. They appear to be
the Caduceus, something like that.
I don't know the name of it. I don't know the proper name of it.
On Earth, anyway. But that means it's a different culture, but they got the same symbol. Fascinating, Captain.
The one with the snake.
Yeah.
You know what? And I would like to point out, just based on this slide, I am still so very, very appreciative that every time I see the rank on the cuff of any Starfleet officer, It is accurate. That is one thing that this show has never done wrong.
Nice.
Right. And as we've all noticed, that the first few episodes were a little rough and had more mistakes. But by this point, they pretty much trimmed a lot of the mistakes
To,
down. They're very few
co-
and far between now.
Did they get it
confession
wrong?
to this
Sorry.
day, I don't understand the significance of Kirk sometimes having a green top.
It's casual.
Oh, you
It's
mean
kinda
that
like-
tunic wraparound that he wears?
It's kind of like when Captain Picard wears his dinner jacket.
Is it like ceremonial, man? It's like his tuxedo.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like a casual thing that he wears around the
Yeah.
house. You know, like in the
Oh.
military, you have your fatigues and then your dress uniform. I always consider it like
That's the very opposite of a tuxedo. Then that's like Trekkie bottoms.
possibly, like more Captain Jammies.
Captain Jemmies. I'm gonna have to research this. Jill, have you got input on this? Kirk in the green top. That's more live action. We'll go back to it later.
Citizen says, or one of those space blankets like in Better Call Saul to Lemon Pie. And Citizen says, I actually have 4 space blankets in reserve in case of emergency. Let us know if they work. Because to me, they look like a piece of aluminum foil.
Yeah. Damn it! I did it again. No, I was
Here we
saying.
go. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought the green tunic was just for to show that he was the captain. You know, kind of stick out because Picard started wearing like some weird jacket in season 5 there to distinguish that he was the captain instead of just another red shirt bridge officer.
Just another red shirt.
And Mike has a great point. That medical symbol goes back to the book of Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
And Citizen says, really digging the artwork of the show.
I'm really glad you said that because the book has something really cool in a minute here. I don't know which slide it's going to be. Oh, where is it?
It's over there.
Oh,
no,
no.
not there.
Oh, goodness.
Right. That's
Actually,
the shot
we're
where
gonna
you
look
forgot
for it.
Kirk has, right.
There
You forgot Kirk has webbed hands.
Oh, okay. I have it at the end of this whole sequence, so we have to wait a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Just
Anticipation.
checking. Yeah, anticipation. So they grab the canisters that look like they're going to help them with the mutations. But the Sir Snake is back.
Dun dun dun.
There's
Oh,
the
right.
circle.
Is this where they go all Avatar and they say we can't mess with the sea monsters?
Not yet.
Okay.
So the canisters contain the scrolls are brought back to you.
Oh, I thought it was margarita mix.
The only thing that happens here is that the Sir Snake chases Kirk and Spock, and this wall crumbles because there's a little earth. There's a little quake. Sea quake. Thank you. I keep wanting to say earthquake, but we're not on Earth. And it collapses this wall, which lands on the snake. And so this is a picture from the animated series book of the room that they were just in.
Oh, wow.
With the canisters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
This was way too cool to not share this.
And you can see, I agree, Citizen, that you can tell that the people who drew this really cared about their craft. Yes. And with the low budget, they were very limited on their budget. Yes. You can tell there's definitely a lot of love in every frame. That is so cool, Jill. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
You know, and I hate to, like, it looks like Miri. It
Similar?
looks like the lab from Miri.
Without the big vent that they can crawl through, I guess, yes.
Yes. No, but again, it just comes back to like the scientific research of the previous civilization that was here before. They brought their own downfall. That is exactly the episode that we're watching.
Yay, Citizen.
Good point.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was like a storyboard. You know, often they'll have storyboards before they actually create content to save the artist time and effort. Very nice.
Yeah, I really like that.
That is my favorite centerfold.
Me too.
Mm.
The canisters containing scrolls are brought to McCoy, and so he finally makes a breakthrough with them. And he says, If the universal translator is right, the substance in your bloodstream is similar to the ambergris of Earth whales. Reverse
So-
mutation is induced by infusion of an antitoxin, concentrated doses of it. It is made from the venom of the Argo surfsnake. And
So
I
in
gotta
other
cough.
words, they got whale puke in their bloodstream.
What?
That's what ambergris is whale puke.
Is it puke or is it bile?
In this case, it's toxins.
Oh.
Well, I'm just asking. Like, puke is bile.
Oh,
You can vomit puke.
Oh, it's not exactly alkaline, no.
If this is a medical situation, I apologize for using medical terms.
well, I don't know how accurate this is. Of course, this is Wikipedia, but it says ambergris is a solid, waxy, flammable substance of dull gray or blackish color produced in the digestive system of sperm whales. So, hail to gorilla.
The only reason I knew that was because someone mentioned that it's mostly used in perfumes, in
Ooh,
high-end perfumes.
And soaps like Fight Club.
I rub myself in cedar.
Citizen says very, very cool. And Lemon Pie says, Citizen, while I like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul put me to sleep the first few episodes, so I'm not too familiar. Lemon Pie, please go back and try to revisit it. It's a really good show. A slow burn. Skogly says, like I said, it was all that whale poop in their blood. And Skogly was right because he's the first one that mentioned it from the beginning.
Wow, well done, Skogly.
Yes, thank you, Skogly. And Citizen Universe, it's a slow burn. There it is. Lemon Pie, it picks up, though. Right, pretty much what I said. And yes, Lemon Pie, I agree with you. And Citizen, fair enough. Or Skogly, I agree with you. Okay, go ahead. We're caught up.
Lemon Pie, I don't care about Breaking Bad either. And Skogly, I apologize for missing your comment about the whale poop.
Breaking Bad features, and I'm talking about in a lot of scenes, Carol Burnett. So how can you go wrong with that?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Here,
Then that's how you go wrong with that.
Well, then here's a question: who's Carol Burnett?
Well, for this young and kids out there, she was very popular. She was She was an understudy of Lucille Ball. We all heard Lucille Ball. She was basically her replacement. Another comedian who was redhead, who was very funny and very talented and smart. She had her own show. Go ahead.
If you've ever seen Annie from 1982, she played the woman who ran the orphanage.
Right. She had her own TV series, which was very popular. It ran for 11 years on CBS. The Carol Burnett Show. I highly recommend it. You can find it, and it's very, very funny.
I will only watch the episode where Commander or Lieutenant Spock shows up.
Right.
Commander
and
Spock.
has no lines.
Commander Spock, rather.
Come on.
Right.
Drop
he has no lines?
No line. Well, no. No, there's somebody else who's speaking for him off screen, and then when he comes out, he doesn't say anything.
That's weird.
And Citizen Lemon Pie says Citizen, fair enough. And Mike says the same thing. Mike must be my era. Carol Burnett, 1970s. And Citizen says it's got better promise at Lemon Pie. All right, we're ready.
All right, back at Aquaman.
Lieutenant Commander. Okay, Aquaman.
Lieutenant Commander. I thought it was Commander Spock.
Is it okay. I thought it was Commander too, but now I'm questioning my entire life.
Well, no, two solid stripes on the cuff that's Commander.
I thought it was
it's Lieutenant Commander.
Lieutenant Commander is one solid. No, Lieutenant Commander is one solid stripe and one broken stripe.
And that I'm not sure of. So I'll leave that to you. Oh, that's why I won't argue. It's not even my field, so yes.
I don't know why I'm chest bumping. I'm sorry, Popcorn.
I'll take your no, it's okay. Like I said, I don't know about the stripes, so sure, I'll take your word for it.
Well, eventually becomes captain anyway.
He does. Yes. It's true. And ambassador, and then he dies.
Right.
So they need their help. They're asking for help from the Aquans because they need to capture a surf snake to get its venom to turn back into land breathers, or air breathers rather, land dwellers. Because nobody else in the ship can reach the depths that Kirk and Spock can. But of course, the Aquans say that capturing a surf snake is against the ordainments, but the younger Aquans agree to do it. They say, ordainments are useless in times of turbulence. Only knowledge will help us. So working together, the Aquans and Kirk and Spock, they capture.
Oh, right. The tentacle shrimp or sea monster.
Yeah, they capture the sea monster.
The lizard thing.
Right.
But they've been told.
Everything. Lemon Pie says, citizen, I'll give it a spin sometime. I respect your opinion. And Skogly says, Spock's rank throughout the entire series is commander, not a mere lieutenant commander. In this episode, he is wearing the rank insignia of commander, which is 2 full bars.
Thank you, Skogly.
Thanks,
I don't know
Skogly.
where my brain was.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
Skogly's brain is in Google, so smart man, or Skogly, a man or woman, sorry. But thank you for that.
Gogly knows his onions.
I believe it too. Speaking of onions, back to the talking tomato.
Yeah. So they work together to gather as much of the venom they can before the quakes get more intense. And
there is an actual really weird, and yeah, this is it.
Right.
A Kirk milking a fang.
Well, it makes sense. That's how they get it from snakes.
No, I get that. That's how it works. I'm just saying, did you ever expect to see this animation?
Okay, that looks so wrong.
I'm kind of just like, he's really intense. He knows what he's doing. But when you actually think about it, it's like, so, okay, guys. I have this sea monster. We had a net over him because of the Gungans. And then we pulled down on the net because that's what Spock's doing. And then I milked his fang. And then Chekhov says, I wish I wasn't off the ship this year.
Mm.
Oh.
Do you think Kirk enjoyed it?
And Kirk says, stop laughing back there, you guys.
It doesn't look like he's enjoying it. He seems like a man on a mission.
A 5-year mission.
And this is the 4th year of its mission. Sorry, Jill. Go ahead.
No, don't be sorry at all. That was wonderful. So yeah, they get the venom from the surf snake.
Shut up, Edge of Time.
And then the surf snake is crushed for good. Poor guy.
Yeah, but a heroic sacrifice.
Yeah. And we get more of McCoy. He has prepared the antitoxin from the venom of the surf snake, but a part of the old record is missing, so the exact dosage is unknown. So experiments on fish.
This makes no sense.
Experiments on fish show that if the antitoxin is too strong, it causes overmutation, which can't be reversed. So, and they can't experiment, so they just have to guess. But don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Everything is fine and it works.
Like, it doesn't, like, look at this. This is exactly my argument with the episode, is that you've got people who cannot breathe underwater wearing the environment belts and they are in water. Why can the reverse not be done to Kirk and Spock? Also, considering this particular medical experiment, like, he's going to be like, okay, we're going to give you lung back. Okay. All you have to do is stay in this tank of water. And so when your lungs come back, we're pretty sure you're going to drown.
Yeah, you're right. They should have done what they do with whales, where they're in a shallow bit of water so that they could still breathe, but they could still administer things to them out of the water.
Same way it happened at the beginning of the episode when they found all water Kirk and Spock.
Right. But they just wanted to keep using this aquarium. They really into this aquarium
They
for some
really
reason.
loved not having to draw anything.
You
We
know
have
what?
4.
You just figured it out.
Yeah, we have 3 walls, and we'll just do something weird with the audio so it makes it sound like they're underwater.
Yeah, they did do that. And so
And go ahead, Jill.
the webbing disappears, his metabolism and his heartbeat and lungs return to normal.
And he's underwater.
Yeah. But
And that explains why he's so distressed.
Hmm.
That's rotoscoped. That had to be. And why did they put scales on him? They turned him into a fish.
they wanted you to be worried that he over mutated and now Kirk is going to be Fish Kirk.
This
Why
kind of
does he
reminds
have
me of the
the-
old werewolf movies.
Why does he have the environment belt on him?
Because his lungs are returning to normal.
No,
And
but
so-
they didn't do that in all
No,
the other.
right, and they didn't
I
do
think-
that because as soon as he starts breathing, McCoy says, "Let's get him out of here."
Oh, that's right. So
Right.
I guess this is just an effect that they're just saying, "Oh, look at him, he's mutating. He's
Right,
going to glow." for
Right,
some
and
reason.
I think
my
the line is a mistake around him. I think that might be a mistake on the animator's part.
Yeah, I don't think that should be the case either.
You know what? I'm so glad that I've already started enjoying perfectly legal products from Canada because this episode would have driven me to them if I hadn't already. Meanwhile, back at the domes of Aqua People,
Right, and that's the one Jill was referring to earlier. There's water in those helmets, I guess.
Yeah, Domar and Ryla have the aqua lungs on,
Yeah.
so that they can be on the bridge, which is what Kirk and Spock should have been wearing the whole episode when they were on the ship. It would make more sense.
Well,
So there
unless
were-
that technology, maybe that technology is owned by the Aquans and not the.
Yeah.
No, because they had
Oh,
these
that's right.
these
Those
helmets on earlier when
Yes.
Kirk and Spock were going to
Yeah.
dive under the water.
Yes,
So,
you're
Jill,
right.
do you think this is where SpongeBob got the idea for the helmets for SpongeBob and Patrick?
I don't know. Maybe
Edge, I want to cover the chat.
You'd
real
have
quick.
to
Edge of
ask
Time says-
them.
have to ask them. And Edge of Time says, "Wouldn't venom dissipate in the water?" Maybe you're right. Maybe it's a thicker substance. Citizen of the Universe says,
Oh,
"Rian
that's
Johnson, take note." And Edge of Time says, "Must be a magic flugelhorn." And
Yeah.
Citizen says, "Ha ha." And Lemon Pie says, "That's no space station. It's Rian's head." Ryan Ruin. And Citizen of the Universe says, "LOL." And Citizen of the Universe says, "Scotty."
Cheers.
And Citizen says, "Hail and fire." Citizen of the Universe also says, "What's wrong with rotoscope?" That's Scotty.
Nothing. I just said I was merely commenting on the fact that the animation did look rotoscoped. Heck, we've talked about this.
Which it
before.
was. Yes, they did. Yes, Filmation used a lot of rotoscoping. So Citizen of the Universe, I do agree with you. Rotoscope is better than CGI. Totally agree.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Rotoscope is when they film actual actors and then the animators draw over the film frames rather than a computer generating the action, and then it looks like that there's no gravity to it. The people when they move, it looks very fake. Check out if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Check out the first Spider-Man movie from Sam Raimi. It looked very fake because Spider-Man had no gravity in it, but they finally realized that by the time they got to the second movie.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It was better. It wasn't as bad, but it was more obvious in the first one.
You can hear all about it next week on our new podcast, The Spider-Man Movies.
Gotcha, Scotty, says Citizen.
You'd probably
Universe.
like that.
Anyway,
I like
back
this how
on
they have a
the-
happy. Right, this is funny how they have to always have the happy ending at the end of every Star Trek episode.
Right,
So,
and this and
yes.
oh yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Actually, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and it's hilarious that they brought the water breathers all the way up here just for this last scene.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to. Well, because the Aquans are still kind of in danger. Their land is still going to be destroyed by the quakes.
Oh, right.
So Kirk is going to bombard the unpopulated pressure areas, or he says, "We'll bombard the unpopulated pressure areas
I've
with
heard this
phaser beams
before.
and change the epicenter of the quake, so it won't endanger your people or your city." And so they figured out how to do this based on everything they've learned from the Argos. But again, we didn't get to see what it was that they learned that caused them to be able to do this. But this is a new skill that the Federation now has, and that Kirk learned how to do, or
What?
Scotty or somebody.
Somebody figured out how to move tectonic plates.
Yes. And it not only works, but it causes the ruins of the ancient city to resurface.
Which is weird.
Which is
And you
weird
think
and
it-
makes no sense.
Well, you think it would disintegrate when it hit the air, but who knows?
Yep. So pew pew.
Pew pew, boom boom, and they can say that their mission was a success because now they know how to go back and save the other planet that they were studying.
That's right. And the older Aquans finally see the value in, not being so frightened of everyone, I guess. I don't know. They say, "We owe you and your friends much gratitude, Captain Kirk. We will try to repay by making the ancient records available for your studies." And so the younger Aquans are going to rebuild some of the surface areas, and both generations promise this time they will connect with each other better and make new ordainments to make sure that's the case. They don't lose contact when the younger Aquans are, I guess, they're going to become air breathers. I don't know.
And that's
that's
was
the episode.
Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Yeah.
I gave it a B+.
Yeah, me too. Wow. Okay. Is that okay?
Like-
We can't see score.
No, we can't. I'll change mine. I'll make mine a B+.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Yeah, it is. I said it with less excitement, so it's different. But no, but I think that this was, and I you know what? And I've said before, this is an episode that is 45 minutes of science fiction that is crammed into 25 minutes. I thought it was really dense. I thought it was out of the ordinary. It was frustrating at times, but ultimately, no, this was good. I liked this very much.
Me too. Yeah, I know. Some of the science things I wanted more explanation on, but like you said, 45 minutes, 25 minutes, they couldn't explain almost anything.
Well, and
But-
Ensign Clayton.
But and also, like you said, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon with the characters talking underwater, and it's totally fine that they can talk underwater. So there are some elements that are Star Trek elements that are missing like that. But one Star Trek element they do have is where they don't have a villain; they only have antagonists. With the antagonist being nature and forms of the Quakes, and also the Cersei and the Elder Aquans, who have a difficulty straying from tradition and from the ancient texts that saved their lives. And the younger Aquans, who have less ties with that past, are more willing to break the laws where it makes no sense to follow them, and end up helping our heroes and rediscovering other aspects of their past. Which by the end of the episode, they decide they want to rebuild that part of their past. I think that's pretty cool. It's also... Yeah, it's also a lovely study in anthropology. I'm sorry, Scotty.
I was just going to say it's kind of weird that they just, like, the really cool city that they can get onto they raise it, but they're water breathers, so they can't actually go visit the city.
Not yet, but they know how to reverse the process, and now it's not something they're afraid of. They're not afraid of being above
Air
land
breathers.
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and especially the kids are
Right,
are
especially
more
the younger
into it.
generation. Right, they're more eager, which will bring the older generation up there.
Yeah, eventually, or not, and they'll just the older generation might decide they want to stay underwater, and then they just agreed to communicate with each other.
Right, and let's not discuss any kind of diseases above there that could have been created or adapted since they went below. Right.
It's true. We have no idea. All of those implications are not discovered in this episode. It's I think it is a lovely elementary study of the anthropology where different generations have different outlooks and their own ways have their own ways of preserving the past.
Yep.
Well, and when you say an elementary interpretation of anthropology, Isn't that exactly what Star Trek would do to a Saturday morning audience?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a very it is somewhat educational, or
Well, I mean, absolutely. Think about it. We could be talking about how funny this was Scooby Doo, and he got that old man because the evil ghost in the haunted house, right? That's the other option these days. So yeah, those days. So I would agree. Yes, this is much better. And Edge of Time says this episode was awkward. And Citizen of the Universe says Antiderivative Jill.
Good one. Thank you.
No.
And Gorilla.
Not how you trip. That is not how you spell that. I'm gonna have to.
Gorilla, tell us your thoughts on this episode. What's your review?
Well, how honest do you want me to be?
Honest as you can be, without getting censored.
I'm just gonna give this one a C because, to be honest, when I was watching it, I wasn't really much paying attention, and then I got the condensed version. I was a lot more entertained listening to Jill describe the show versus when I was trying to watch it.
Well, I hope you don't have to suffer through watching condensed episodes any further. So let me know.
Hey, thank you,
Gorilla.
I'm glad you liked my interpretation of an episode that you couldn't pay attention to.
Well, it was 18. It was an 18-minute out of the 20. It's 18 minutes out of the 24, not including the intro. So
doesn't matter if it's 18 or 8 minutes. No more condensed versions. Get with me next time, and we'll do watch parties.
Yeah, well, no, I thought it would have it, but apparently, when I was using, they put the L'Oreal syndrome or symbol or whatever the hell that woke episode was.
No.
It wasn't woke.
They put that in 4 different.
You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
They put that in 4 different spots on the source I was using. They had it on 4 different episode slots,
which tells you not to do that anymore. Shame.
Well, it's by a reliable source.
Doesn't sound reliable. If that's a reliable source, then I got a bridge to sell you.
Well, this is the one time they screwed up.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to just have a like Gorilla. You and I should get together and talk about how woke the Lorelei signal is, and it'll be hilarious.
All right, pick a day.
Well, I don't know.
You could do it on.
But it's like not. I'm gonna be trolling in the chat saying it's not woke. And here's
how about your defensive Thursdays, Gorilla? Wouldn't that be a good time?
Well, then I'd be doing 2 streams a night.
Oh, okay.
That's my Waltons one.
That's true.
All right,
we've got a lot to talk about with the Waltons. I want to share later.
But I'm free on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons.
Well, maybe I'll drop in from time to time, and sometime we'll be able to talk about the Lorelei signal.
Yeah, sometimes Gorilla is just playing Minecraft, and you want to drop in and completely interrupt him with the Lorelei signal. I think he'd enjoy
right.
That.
Gorilla?
Yeah. When I do my come chat as I die in Minecraft, we can talk about anything.
Cool. Then
Arabic Saunders. Welcome, Arabic Sonder. I'm glad you stopped by. Hail, Pop Culture. Hail to you. I hope you enjoyed
Arabic Sonder.
Right. The alerts have not been going out like they should on YouTube. So, Arabic, please, if you'd like, share this for us.
Well, there's one stream that's ended that was live that's popping up now, so there's an improvement.
Oh, nice. Just as it's too late. Arabic says, hello, Antiderivative Jill. And Mike says, anyone here to play Star Trek Online?
Hello, Arabic Sunder.
Yeah, I haven't played that for a while. And hail to your house, and glory to your house there, Arabic.
I did for a bit. I did play a little Star Trek Online, and I didn't really like it.
Well, I liked it, but then there were some missions that, it wouldn't let me complete some mission and all that. And then there's just every time you have to log in, you got to patch the damn thing. Then if you don't play it for a while, then all of a sudden it takes 3 hours just to get the game going.
Well, no, because I'm Amish, so I have like an Xbox.
I knew it.
Hey, if you're Amish, where's your beard? Calling you out, right?
I'm undercover.
Well, if you're really bearded.
No. I tried to play it on Xbox One, and it didn't work very well. And then also, like, I don't know. It just it didn't grab me. It seemed more action oriented than I would have preferred.
I've heard it was disappointing and lackluster. That's why I haven't gotten into it myself.
Like, it's
But-
not really a bad game. It's just like, if you take a break from it, just expect get your whole house clean before the damn thing loads up.
Well, and
that's no
also
fun.
it's when it comes to Star Trek video games, the ones that are the gold standard for me are the 25th anniversary and Judgment Rights, the ones with the full cast of the original series.
Oh, I should have played the 25th anniversary. I love that game.
It's a great game.
Oh, I have Judgment Rights. I wish I could get Bridge Commander working.
Well, do you have a VR headset?
Yeah, I have an Oculus.
Oh, you should
But-
talk to Cardinal Sin. He does too. He wants to
That's-
find somebody to play
that-
Star Trek with.
Well, that virtual game they have doesn't work on the Oculus. In fact, people will shun you if you get into the online game and they find out you're wearing an Oculus.
Oh well.
Eric Saunders says the stories. And by the way, you're preaching to the choir, Eric. The stories in TAS are sometimes just as good as TOS. I completely agree.
I
That's
agree as
true.
well. Yeah.
Because Dorothy Fontana says, write a Star Trek episode, do not write a Saturday morning cartoon episode. But even when they did that here, it still worked because there were still some elements of Star Trek in there.
Right. And
well,
as we go ahead,
Sorry.
Scotty.
no, please, after you, sir.
I was just going to say, and as we all know, there were some pretty weak season 3 episodes, which I think this makes up for.
Oh,
I have to be right back. I need to go do something real quick.
Go
all
for
right.
it, Jill.
Hey, Pop, where's that clip I showed you? You play for Jill.
Oh, not here and now. I know. She's telling us she has her hands full. And Mike says, "Yeah, you have to buy a shuttlecraft." I think he refers to Star Trek Online. I play on Xbox One, says Mike. And Mike says, "I love it." Oh, so that's
Okay.
the other thing too is
So
I
it
don't have the
works.
hardware to play it right now either. Arabic says, "Thank you, Gorillas Random Thoughts. Glory to you and your house as well." Arabic said, "Did I hear Captain Infinity?" I believe you did.
That is
Speaking of
correct,
that,
sir.
Speaking of that, that's what I was going to address next, Captain. Well, tell us your feelings on this show or ratings.
Oh, I couldn't really give it a number. I'll go A plus minus, but that's not a real score, is it? That's completely arbitrary. I like the gills. I like the camaraderie. I like the tale of prejudice amongst the guild people, but at the same time, they were being a bit ageist themselves by saying that only the young hipsters knew where it's at with the mouth breathers, and the oldies didn't.
Air breathers.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. And I believe,
Air
and
breathers.
I agree, Captain. The older we get, we
Sorry,
realize
force
that.
habit.
Right, and I know for me, I can speak for myself that the older I get, I realize how young people dismiss us older people, thinking that we're ignorant when we're not, and we are much more easier to adapt to new ideas than they think we are. It's just that I think we're more cautious than most others. Oh, we have a new visitor.
Exactly. I
Everybody.
can change. You can change.
Right.
Hey, pop culture. Whatever they
PvP,
call
welcome.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late, but I just
Hey,
got off work a
Pleasant
little while
Valley.
ago.
How goes
Better
it?
late than never.
Hey,
Better
hi,
late than
Captain.
never.
Hi,
It's so
Captain,
good to see you.
Scotty, Jill, Gorilla, Pop Culture.
Yeah, hey there, PvP. Hey,
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, better late than never. So good to see you. As you were saying, Gorilla.
yeah. Just to even the younger kids call you ignorant, tell them our owner's manuals told us how to just what was it, the gearbox or something there. Your owner manuals tell you not to look at the contents in the battery.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And there's- right. Right. Think about it. The instructions for the new generation is don't poke this in your eyes. Don't eat poison. Don't do this. Don't, it's things that are common sense would have been for us.
Oh, the one that gets me the most is on your curling irons there. It tells you for external use only.
Oh, you saved my life. Thank you.
Well, the
And
mind
if you-
boggles to that.
Hey, if you think I'm
That
joking,
explains
go look at a
God.
curling iron in Walmart
God.
there, and they'll tell you for external use only.
That explains that little accident I had last week.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, it's like, don't the youngsters realize that we oldsters have a little bit of knowledge we might have acquired over the
Right?
years?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Experience does that. Yeah, we're a little more
Yeah.
cautious. Right.
Well,
I
not
know
just
they're a
life
little more brave.
experience, but education too. I mean, it's all part of the process.
I know.
Nah, there's a fence. There's a fence that I reside upon because I have older parents. They're in their 70s, and
Uh-huh.
I am somewhat adept at technology, and so they think I'm Dr. Zayas.
Right.
And like I am just the most knowledgeable person in the world. But then I have conversations with other people and they're like, "Do you not even know how to work fucking Zoom?"
I know, right? When my dad was alive, he'd call me to go over to his house just to set the clock on his VCR, and he thought I was Stephen Hawking. And I'm like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
it's right. It's like,
Every time that they do like the daylight savings time, I have to go over to my parents' house, and the last thing that they ask me just before I leave, like they're Columbo or something, and they're like, "There's just one more
Oh,
thing.
just
right,
one
one more
last
thing,
thing, Mr. Scuddy.
Can you change the clocks in our cars?"
right?
Well,
That's
they just.
funny. I want to ask my son to do that. I can't do it in mine.
Cadet Kirk was a mouth breather, says Mike. And Arabic Saunders
Air
says it
breather.
says something about the stories were just as good as the live action ones. Enough to make up for the Scooby Doo animation. I totally agree.
I think
And
I
go ahead.
didn't get to rate it, by the way, so I think it's
Well,
probably in the-
PvP's here. I was just listening. Sorry. Hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I think I'd probably give it, or maybe, I don't know. It was a good episode. I actually enjoyed it. Probably around a B plus, A minus range. I mean, somewhere in there.
I came
That's
close
about-
to an A minus, but there were some things that they kept.
Well, I mean, it's
like-
not perfect. No
Yeah,
episode
exactly.
is totally perfect. But I like the aquatic shuttle. I thought that was pretty cool. That we never saw that before. I like the creature. What was it? The surf.
the
Whatever
surf
it was.
snake.
Surf
the
snake.
giant
Yeah, I thought.
lobster, yeah.
I thought it looked. They've had a really nice design on that. I thought that was really well done for
It was
the
cute.
limited
It had a
animation.
personality.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean the oldsters versus the youngsters kind of thing. That was kind of a trope, I guess, but I didn't mind it. And I don't know. Overall, I just thought it was an entertaining episode, basically.
What's interesting is I'm a retired teacher, and I remember having meetings with parents saying the kids are smarter than you think. You need to give them more credit.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
see how it goes both ways.
Did you tell them that your kid was eating glue?
Or your kid ate a skunk that they picked up off the road. Citizen of the Universe says, Captain, you summed it up nicely. Mike says, don't eat Tide Pods.
Thanks very much.
LOL, right.
Hey, pop culture. $20
Yes.
is $20. Someone bets you'd eat some roadkill. $20 is $20.
That's true, right? And Mike says, anyone on the panel here in their 40s? Ooh.
Yes.
Not
I
not
wish.
me.
I'm getting
Right.
close, but not
I-
yet.
I
I
used
still
to
got
be.
10 years.
There you go.
Jill,
There's your
you're
range.
gonna be 40 in like 12 years. Calm down.
I love this. This is why I love the opinions, because we have
wish.
we have all these perspectives from people from different ages. This is why that's what makes this show so great. Skogly says, I have seen that warning on hair curlers myself. Put down the hair curlers and start reading Dr. Zayas, LOL, Scotty.
Yeah, I was
And Planet
about
of
to
the
make a
Apes.
comment.
Go ahead. Oh, Gap After Dark. Welcome, Gap After Dark. Yes, unless I already said that, but I don't think I did.
Hi, Gap.
Hey, pop culture curator. Hey, Arabic Sauter, and Gap After Dark is saying hello to everyone. Damn you all to hell.
You had it, but you blew it.
Right, Gap. And by the way, I'm gonna take time to say I'm old, but Charlton Heston is by far my favorite actor, and I read
Wow.
at least 3 or 4 of his novels, including biographies and behind the scenes of every movie he did. I was
Well-
fascinated with that man.
I have
Well-
given you 15 command. Don't 10 command.
Well, pop culture, you know that like Gene Hackman pretty much retired from acting, and then he became somewhat of a novelist. Have you ever read or are you a fan of Gene
Yes, yes, and so did um, from the Munsters, Herman Munster. Fred Gwynn, he
Fred
also
Gwynn?
became a renowned children's author
Oh,
after he
really?
retired from acting. Yes.
I never realized that. That's cool.
That is cool.
And he did his own artwork. He was very, very talented.
Really?
And
We'll learn
Gareth
all
Ab-
about it next week on our new podcast, The
Right.
Monsters.
Gareth After Dark says, "Oops, curator, sorry, a little sleepy." No, you are totally fine. I feel you sometimes. I don't feel you in that way, but I mean I'm sleepy sometimes. as well.
What?
Yeah, sorry
Weird.
about that, guys. I gotta watch what you say these days. Mike says
Nah,
I'm
I
47
feel you
old
that
in
way.
here.
Hey, pop culture! If I couldn't have twisted that into something dirty, you just suck your own hole there.
Well, I tried to stop it before you could. I figured you were on that way.
No, I wasn't even gonna say anything. I knew exactly what you meant when you said I feel it. Then all of a sudden you made that comment. I was like, wait, I can think of it that way.
Well, I know I shouldn't say feel you because that's a newer term. I should say I understand. Yes, I sympathize. Citizen of the Universe says that was a great movie though, and Charlton Heston was a legendary actor. Yeah, who else do you know? I mean, seriously, guys, who else do you know that can play Ben-Hur, the guy in tights, to battling apes and zombies? I mean, come on. Or saving an airplane that's getting ready to crash. I mean, there's so many. I don't know any actor who had the range that Charlton Heston did.
He definitely had range. That's for
Right.
sure.
Right, and as they proved in Wayne's World 2, he's the only person you can hand a bad line to, and he can make it sound good and believable.
Like,
He was
and
a
I
good-
don't
he
want
was a
to.
good actor, yeah.
I don't want to be derogatory, but I do think that there is some of a comparison because some synapses were firing. But like, you get John Wayne, and then you get Charlton Heston. Like,
Well, I love John Wayne. I love John Wayne, but I think his acting range was one note. But I love
Yeah.
John Wayne.
John Wayne
Right.
was John Wayne.
Right.
I mean, in
right.
every movie he was in.
People say the same thing about Charlton Heston.
I don't agree. I don't agree. I mean, you look at his performance as Moses in the Ten Commandments. You compare that to Planet of the Apes, or say the Omega Man. There's a definitely different, acting style there. He's not a one note.
No, I
wonder.
think he's the same guy who was dropped into a different situation. If
Well,
I have to be completely honest, I think that Charlton Heston and John Wayne both
I don't see Heston that way.
like
really.
they act.
Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape!
Yeah, same thing as when you end up in that's 100% Anglo-Saxon, baby.
And
You
I
know,
have
Mega
to,
Man.
I, and I,
You could
if
say
I may
that-
say, I do agree with Scotty to a certain point. If I was to say, like Planet of the Apes, I would say yes. That is like taking Charlton Heston and putting him right in the middle of Planet of the Apes. I can say that with any one of his movies, and I do agree with that.
Like, I would say the best performance that Charlton Heston ever gave was arguably racist in Touch of Evil.
Well, that wasn't intentionally racist. We could blame Orson Welles.
True. Hey,
Right.
man, it's 2022. I got to acknowledge it, right? But no, I don't think it was racist. I think it was casting.
No, the
But
thing
then
is,
again, going back to... Anyway, welcome to the Star Trek The Animated Series podcast.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know how we got off on that one. Eric Saunders says, I liked him in Ben-Hur. Oh, so did I. And Gap After Dark says, hail, Citizen of the Universe. Lemon Pie says, hail. Hello, Gap. Eric Saunders says, hey, at Gap After Dark. Gap says, hello, Lemon Pie. And Gap After Dark says, huh, Pop? While laughing. Gap After Dark says, Charlton Heston is a great actor. Yes. John Wayne and Charlton Heston are too different to compare. Yes, I agree with you.
yeah, I
Jason.
agree with that.
Right.
I think they're in the
then,
same
by the way,
thing is-
here's the
thing
thing
is-
with John. Go ahead.
The thing is, just because you want to say an actor's a one note kind of actor, but I mean, take an actor say like Kirk Douglas. I mean, the guy had an incredible career. I think he gave a lot of great performances, but
Yes.
you could argue that Kirk Douglas was kind of a one note kind of guy too, right?
Yeah.
No.
Because I mean, he gets stereotyped for that jaw clenching,
No,
like,
I know, but but when it comes to Kirk Douglas, I compare Spartacus and
I'm Spartacus.
Paths of Glory.
no, I'm Spartacus.
No,
And-
No, I'm Spartacus.
to compare Kirk Douglas within two different Stanley Kubrick movies I think
Path
I
of
have
Glory is a great film.
I have a good idea as to what Kirk Douglas can do, and I admire it.
You know what I really enjoyed him was when he played Vincent Van Gogh in Lust for Life. That
You
was
know what?
that was a
Just
or
great
the other
John
film.
Wayne
day.
is Genghis Khan.
Oh no, not Genghis Khan. Oh
No,
God, no.
John Wayne as Genghis Khan is hilarious.
Well, yeah, it'd be great if you were like having a party and you had a few too many and you threw that on. Yeah.
Right, but honestly, I have to say, in defense of John Wayne, is that one note is what people loved about him. That's what we expected to see when we saw a John Wayne movie.
Okay, wait. Okay, so pop culture curator, you are a big fan of 70s entertainment, and obviously you are somewhat knowledgeable about
I'm going to be
John
watching
Wayne.
an episode of Chips as soon as this stream is over. So yes,
California Highway Patrol.
There are
Nice.
there are two movies that I think are interesting to juxtapose.
juxtapose.
That's it. So there's Brannigan starring
Oh,
John Wayne,
Yes,
and then there's McHugh starring John Wayne.
yes.
In Brannigan, he is a brash, take no shit from nobody. And in
Right.
McHugh, he's like, you know what? Let's just calm down.
Right. So the director said, "I want. Let's see. We're going to dial up John Wayne to 80% for the first movie, and maybe 40% for the second.
Exactly.
Right, and still walk and swagger the way you always do. That's what everybody
Well,
expects.
no, but he does present, and like he does present different emotional characteristics inhabiting a character, if you will. I didn't mean to say that John Wayne was a bad actor.
Oh no, I didn't. No,
appreciate-
I didn't think you said that. I didn't think you said that.
Anyway, welcome back to our John Wayne podcast.
You know, my very favorite John Wayne movie, where I actually thought he gave an incredible performance, was his last film, The Shootist. You know, playing a dying, gunfighter or whatever. He was great in that film. Like, he was so subtle. He had a humanity in that movie. I thought that was a really great film. I mean, John Wayne. I was never a big John Wayne fan, but when I saw that movie, I was like, this guy really can act after all.
That John can
Yeah, I
Wayne.
It was a great film. I really liked it.
All his acting, and his abilities, everything came to the top. You could see you could see in his earlier movies, the black and white ones, and the John Ford westerns, where his acting was a little rough, but he did get better over time.
Well,
but his roles
but
his roles were cookie cutter, I guess.
Well,
yeah, a lot of them were kind of stereotypical. Yeah.
I'm trying to show my poll.
Oh, we got
my
poll. I was just going to bring up John Wayne and George Takei being in the Green Beret.
And yes, but we were all giving our reviews, and I wanted to show the results to the poll, and it's no longer there.
It's gone?
Maybe once you open it, it disappears?
Was that it? There it is.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Before we go too far, what grade would you... This is the results for the poll that everybody voted for in the chat, and thank you. I appreciate you voting. What grade would you give the Ambergris Element? So we got 62% said B plus to B minus, 25% A plus to A minus, C plus to C minus, 12%. And once again, nobody gave it a D or an F, which is great. And my review personally would be
here.
Oh, I know. Gorilla seems to be more forgiving after by the time we get to the end of the episodes.
Oh, what? Oh, so you like my token Fs there, Scotty?
I look forward to every episode that you give an F, which is usually every episode.
Well, because you have an hilarious reason. It's always funny.
Yeah.
And my vote would fall within the B category as well, the 62%. So that's where I would be. I don't think I'm allowed to vote on my own poll, but that's what it would have been.
Oh, you're in California, so you're allowed to vote.
More than once, exactly right.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the videos of people stuffing the ballot boxes? I'm like, oh well, I don't want to get political. And Gap After Dark says, I just got this cool book for a great price of Amazon.
Okay.
In excellent condition. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were done talking. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I was just going to read what Gap After Dark said. Gap After Dark in the chat says, I just got this cool book for a great price at Amazon in excellent condition. Planet of the Apes, The Evolution of the Legend, 867. The book is perfect. wrong. Nothing wrong with it at all. Gap After Dark, do me a favor, please. Check me out. I'm at PC Curator at Twitter. Can you let me know how the book is? Because I have the original Planet of the Apes book. I'm looking at it right now that I read, and I would
The
like to
story is a
know.
bit different, isn't it?
It is very different. It's actually better, and it has two twist endings, not just one, but two that are better than the ones in the movie. And I highly recommend the book for any of you that are out there. So yeah, Gap After Dark, please, if you get a chance, let me know either on Twitter or social media or here on a future stream. Let me know what you think of the book and how it is, because I'm a huge fan of Planet of the Apes, and I'll get that sucker and read it. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead, Gorilla.
All I was gonna say, you talk about the stuff in the ballot box. I'm still laughing at the guy that got arrested for being passed out drunk in his car with 300 ballots in his car.
What episode of Star Trek was that?
300 what?
This was in California here 2 years ago.
300 what?
Oh,
300
is
ballots.
that when the Voyager crew
Oh,
went
ballots.
to Los Angeles?
And Mike says, I'm Negan. And Gap in the Dark says, I'm Spartacus. Edge of Time says, Ned Land. And Citizen Universe says, Kirk Douglas, excellent actor. Oh, yes, he'll be sorely missed. Citizen Universe, Michael Douglas,
He's
too.
still
Yes, they both are.
alive, isn't he?
No, Kirk Douglas has passed, and Michael Douglas is with us, but unfortunately,
I didn't
he finally
hear
did.
this.
Yeah, a few years ago.
What do you mean, probably?
No, but Michael Douglas, it's too bad he's still in with Disney now. I
Maybe
wish
I'm
he would
mixing
give it
up
up.
Michael Douglas and Kirk Douglas. My mistake.
Possibly. Citizen Universe says Scott. Yeah, Michael Douglas is in the new Quantum. What is it? Wasp
Quantumania.
movie.
Yeah.
The Wasp, Quantumania, and if time
Ant-Man.
permitting, Ant-Man. All right, if time permitting, Ant-Man. You're right.
Pop
Scotty
culture.
says hail.
Pop culture. Can I just talk to you for one quick second?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there are so few movies that have a person named Scott as the protagonist. So whether you like Ant-Man or not,
I'm a big fan.
Just give me my hero who is named my name. It's like Cyclops. No one likes Cyclops. But his name is Scott.
No, that's fine. I used to read
Cyclops.
Ant-Man comics when I was a kid. I was a big fan. Even when all my friends around me were saying they're going to put Ant-Man in the movies, we don't want to see him. I was a big fan. How many of you guys know that Garrett Morris from Saturday Night Live was the first Ant-Man? I mean,
I did know that.
He was in this sketch on Saturday Night Live, wasn't he?
Right, and he was in a cameo in the first movie. Ant-Man landed on his car and crushed it.
I didn't realize that.
No, what I was pointing out was that Ant-Man has been replaced. Now he's in the background with woman power ahead of him. That's my problem. That's the only problem I have.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, you saw the second movie, and just wait till you get to the third one. Scotty, you're watching Chip's 99 reunion movie after the stream because you like Eric Estrada's acting. Well, that was me that's watching. That's me that's watching Chips there, Scotty. Gap After Dark. And Citizen Universe says John Wayne don't need no CGI Pilgrim. That's absolutely right. And Citizen Universe, that's where Tarantino stands apart as well. Listen, little to no CGI. The story is the focus. Yeah, we need more people like him. Gogly says, John Wayne went to the doctor and they said, all this lung cancer, we're going to have to take one of your lungs. He said, take them both. I don't effing need them. It's funny, guys. It does sound like something he would say.
No, it was a Dennis Leary bit, but good quote.
It was. I mean, he made a commercial with Jimmy Stewart. I remember when the announcement first came out. Gap After Dark says, "Will do, Pop," and Scogli says, "Up to debt." Yeah, there exactly what you said, Scotty. Dennis Leary joke. Scogli says, "Kirk Douglas
first."
And Kirk Douglas died 2 years ago in 2020.
Oh, I didn't know. You know what? And it's so strange. And the other day I was like, Alan Alda is still alive, and I was so happy.
He is.
Like there are people I don't know. Live life like you're gonna die because you're.
Kirk was like what 101 or something though when he passed on. Like
yes, he passed 100. Yes,
guy had a damn amazingly long life. I mean,
well, he suffered
that far.
No, and he suffered that horrible stroke, so he's a very lucky man and an attempted suicide. So yeah,
I remember he had that stroke. That was maybe about 5-10 years before he passed on.
Before he died,
he seemed to recover from it fairly well though, because I think I remember him on a late night talk show after he'd had the stroke, and he still sounded pretty good actually.
Right, he did a few appearances where he was progressively getting better, and ultimately he did
Yeah.
make another film with the other Douglas family.
Oh, cool.
Well,
Okay, I didn't
he
hear
was
about that
he
one.
was even on stage post stroke at the Academy Awards.
I'm not surprised. He was
Well,
a
I
very
mean,
brave man.
he was a gutsy guy to, keep going in spite of, his health issues. I mean, he didn't give up, obviously, right? So,
Well, and he
give
was back in the
credit.
days. Right, he was also back in the days of Hollywood, where nobody had to tell him, but he worked out, he bulked up, he had muscle, and he took care of himself. He didn't
Yeah,
smoke.
he was in great shape. Yeah.
Yeah, he did
That is a
a lot of
man
his
who
own
Oh,
had a.
stunts.
cigarette.
He used to eat a steak while
Right,
drinking a glass of milk.
right, a lot of his own stunts. And Citizen Universe says no one's ever really gone. That is so true. As long as we keep them in our hearts. Gap After Dark says Hail Scogli. Limit Price says Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Scotty.
True.
And Scogli says Kirk Douglas made it to 103. Very
103.
cool.
Okay. Wow.
Without
We got his
Alzheimer's.
personal best on the golf course.
Same thing. Oddly enough, 103 was his handicap.
Oh, and what's the movie with him and Kirk Douglas where they go fighting? Was it the Spartans?
He
The
was
Viking?
He was
Vikings.
95
Oh,
years
Tony
old, and he
Curtis.
used to run the golf course with his bag
Right.
on his back. And yeah,
Right.
Soon as-
Excellent scene in this Spartacus or in the Vikings where those two are fighting on these steps, and you could just see the pain in as they're tumbling as they're fighting. I mean, I don't know. I just like the old days where they didn't have the jump cuts every split second.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Ben-Hur is a heavily cut film.
It all
Well-
depends what scene you're talking about. I
Well,
mean,
I'm
the
talking
chariot
about
race.
the chariot
The
scene.
chariot race, of course, is because they're trying to create a sense of action and excitement, and of course they're going to have some jump
Right.
cuts.
Right, yeah, and what I meant it was compared to me, in my opinion, modern day cinema, where a lot of times it's so choppy you can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't seem to hold a
Too
scene
much
where they've got
shaky
like
cam, jump cuts,
Michael Bay,
Crash.
everybody, right?
whip pans,
Yeah.
crash zooms. Gone nuts
Right.
with this stuff.
it's like they
Right.
can't do 2 minutes of dialogue with two people talking to each other, right?
Right,
It's
they're
just
shaking the camera or they're playing some
Yeah.
bad background music. But where there's two characters, the new movies, there's two characters supposed to be having a fight scene, and one swings and it cuts, the other 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 one swings and it cuts. What happened to the old scenes with Bruce Lee, where you could watch the entire thing with the wide angle, right?
Yeah, boy, yeah, Bruce Lee, he was amazing. Wow.
It's
Thank
kind of
you,
It's
fun.
like
yeah.
a finger
But
pointing
Bruce
to
Lee
the
had
moon.
talent.
Don't look
Yeah,
at the
that's the
finger.
difference too,
Look
right.
at the moon. I miss
Right.
all that heavenly glory.
Right,
know, it's
BBP
kind of-
is right. Bruce Lee had the talent and he had the skill. He didn't have to fake it with the camera.
Yeah, it's like you look at those old films with, say, someone like Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly. I mean, they can do a whole bloody dance number, and they don't need
Yep.
jump cuts. I mean, they have the bloody
Right.
skills. They just
Yeah,
go
why?
and
Because
dance.
Singing in the Rain is not a documentary.
But they go out and dance their ass off, and because they had incredible talent and they worked their butt. I
Yes.
mean, the skill that they practiced and practiced and practiced till they got to perfection, right? I mean, you show me a modern movie with dancing like that. I mean, it's just non-existent.
Right, you'd have the actor show when they show the close up, and then you'd have the stuntman doing the dressing or the dancing.
That'd be about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Gap After Dark, share out Pop's channel. Thank you, Gap After Dark. I appreciate it. Let's get him to 100. Well, maybe one of these years I'll get there. And when I do, I promise I'll have a celebration, and all of you are invited. Gap After Dark says Ben-Hur is excellent. Yes, it is. And that camera, I could do a streaming. I think I will. I think I'm going to do a streaming show just on that camera alone that was invented for Ben-Hur. It's the same camera they used for the Mad, 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 Mad World, and that Tarantino used for the Hateful Eight. The exact same camera. Scogli says Taken 3 has a wonderful shot of Liam Neeson jumping over a fence. There's only 7 cuts. That sounds like the Bionic Woman. Citizen of the Universe, completely agree, Pop. Thank you, Citizen. Edge of Time says, imagine Joker the musical. And Citizen of the Universe says, 12 Monkeys is not a documentary, Captain. And Scogli says, Rex Harrison did all his lines and songs in one take for My Fair Lady because he was the guy that did it on Broadway for years. Same with Basil Rathbone and sword fighting.
Mhm.
Basil Rathbone, right, which a lot of us, for those even old enough, yes, he was Sherlock Holmes, but he also worked a lot with Errol Flynn, and they were like masters at sword play. I mean, they would never. And by the way, which reminds me, a shout out is Harrison Ford actually learned to use a whip from I'll come up with the name eventually. There was a classic Western actor who was a hero with the whip, and that's where Harrison Ford learned how to use it from. And they're not going to do that anymore. Lash LaRue. That was the guy. That's it. Lash
That
LaRue.
sounds right. Yeah.
Right. Lash LaRue was an actual master of the whip, and he actually taught Harrison Ford how to use it. Which, yeah, let's see Fleabag Bridge do that, huh?
Yeah. You know how many movies?
I'm not looking
sorry.
forward to Indy 5. That sounds like it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I think we all agree with you there. And what were you saying, Grilla?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, how many movies nowadays can get you so entertaining? You look at down, and it's like, holy shit, an hour's passed. It's an hour 20-minute movie. Like I had that with War of the Worlds last night, where I couldn't believe it. We were already an hour into the film. I was like, holy shit, we're already an hour into the film.
Yep, that's a movie that stands the test of time, just like The Time Machine.
The 50s version, I imagine.
Yes,
Yeah,
the 50s version.
Yeah,
right, and he watched.
Great...
Yeah, and he watched The Time Machine the week before that, in both George Powell productions.
That's a great film too. Classics, total classics.
Citizen Universe says favorite Indiana Jones movie. Mine is not popular, everybody, but mine was Temple of Doom.
Mine too.
Well, mine was the first one. I think the first film was pretty much near perfect, really.
The first one, I'll never forget the cinematic experience. Is for all of us normals that never heard of it. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. What is that? And we were completely blown away. It was nothing like what we were expecting.
That's the beauty of back then, though. You'd go to one of these films, like I saw it in the theater when it first came out, and you go
Same
in
here.
You'd walk in going, "Well, I have no idea what this is, but I'll give it a chance." And then it comes to the screen, it blows your mind, and you're like, "Wow!"
Right. It's the first thing you see when it starts is, "Oh, that's Han Solo," and the next thing you know is you're like forgetting about who's Han Solo. This is Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, that first scene when he walks out of the shadows, I mean, that's just perfection. It's so good.
Iconic, right? Instantly legendary.
Iconic, definitely. It's just like the first scene in Star Wars in 1977. I mean, I'll never forget it. My cousin and I had no idea what Star. Well, nobody did. So we went to the theater. We sit down. The film starts. There's that scene at the beginning, where the Imperial ship is chasing the rebel ship, and it's just like, is this thing going to go forever? It's just like
on and on and on
and on. This gigantic ship, and the whole crowd is basically like, you could almost hear people gasping. It was like,
right. I was going to say nobody's even breathing. Right.
Yeah, it was just like mind-boggling because people had never seen a scene like that before.
Don't we miss days about things like that?
I do. I miss days like that.
Right. There's no originality anymore. There's nothing is a big surprise.
It's either a remake or a reboot, it seems.
Or more of the same.
Or a sequel.
Or a soft reboot.
Or a soft reboot.
Or a re-rub.
Regurgitation.
Or a hard rub. Or a reach around.
Right. In Disney's case, a reach around. Citizen Universe says, I vote Last Crusade. And Citizen Universe says, wow, interesting choice, Pop.
Favorite.
Thank you, Citizen. And Citizen
it's
says,
Raiders of the Lost Ark, then it's Last Crusade, then it's Crystal Skull, and then it's Temple of Doom. That's definitely the worst one.
Okay. Temple of Doom is a good flick, says Citizen of 33, but I like all three. Crystal Skull didn't count for me. Didn't count to me, and I agree. I was not a fan of that either.
Kate Capshaw, Get Out of Here. Snapshot of 1983. 4.
No, but Marion looked great for her age in that movie. That's the only
exactly.
Thing
That's why it's the third best one.
Right. That's the only way I could say is that she looked fantastic. The actress, it's like
I would
totally
agree. Yeah, she did look good, definitely.
And Gap After Dark says, "Ugh, Crystal Skull." Yeah,
Karen Allen, call me.
Yes, Karen Allen, absolutely ageless.
Karen Allen was very sweet in her day.
And she slid right back into that part. I mean, the chemistry was there immediately.
Well, they had the chemistry, right? There was something there. I mean, they just clicked,
Well, and they knew that all of us fans, that's what we always wanted. We always wanted him to get back with Marion. Of all the women he was with, we wanted to see him with Marion. She was our favorite.
They seem to be the right pair for sure.
If you watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, yes, Karen Allen and Harrison Ford have chemistry in that movie. If you watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls,
Not so much.
Not at all. They are not even remotely chemistry compatible. So
it does seem a
when
bit
you
self-parodied.
watch
A lot
it,
of indie.
I would like to say that you are enjoying the return of Karen Allen, but that is not. Those are not the same characters. None of that. None of that. Kingdom of the Kistel Skins.
Kistel Skull.
Well, I'm not going to argue that. Right.
Shut up.
Actually, I've got to say the double twisteroo with who's that Limey? Who's that fucking Limey?
No, I
No,
don't
the
understand.
twisteroo with that Limey guy. You know, his friend at the beginning, and then he's not his friend.
Oh, Mac.
Yeah, Matt, but no, I'll fucking ruin the thing.
No,
anyway, the
Matt.
insight.
Played by Ray Winstone.
Ray Winston, thank you. That's it just felt like a phoned-in twisteroo for the sake of it. Oh, I'm your friend. I'm not your friend. Oh, I want the treasure. Oh,
I don't even know what that character was for.
Exactly.
We can hear all about it next week on our Indiana Jones podcast.
I don't know. They had aliens in it, and somehow that would make me like it, but no, it didn't.
There weren't aliens. There were beings that existed
transdimensional.
Between
they were from another dimension.
Distinction from George Lucas. He didn't want aliens because he wanted transdimensional. Once you get those transdimensional, definitely not aliens. Didn't look like aliens at all. Well, no sirree, Bob.
That's how bad it was. I didn't even know what I was watching.
Well, I get that feeling a lot when I watch a lot of stuff in the last 20 years. It's like, what am I watching?
Action scene, bad exposition. Action scene, bad exposition.
Pretty much.
And that's what I was saying about this episode. The Prendergast element, or whatever this episode was called.
Ambergris.
Pardon me, my mistake. And like, this is a dense episode that gives a lot of information nonstop. And I really appreciated it. So it
could have been a two-parter.
It should have been an hour-long actual episode of Star Trek if they had the special effect budget.
That would have been great, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, considering it was a Saturday morning cartoon, hour-longs were unheard of.
If I was head of Paramount, I'd recommission that as season 4. Do it with actors, CGI, whatever you fucking
make it a movie.
Make it a movie.
Anyway, so yes, I give it a B+. Anyway,
I still think Scotty's Star Wars show should get made, but that's another story. That's Star Wars.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, Citizen of Universe is Shia LaBeouf, the poof swinging from vines like Tarzan, F-off film, right? And Citizen of the Universe says LOL. And Gap After Dark says, I'm not sure what all those are.
Someone's using the new icons. Has anybody noticed that? Those new icons appeared like a week ago.
What new icons?
There's a whole bunch of new icons in YouTube.
Right. He's talking about these.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of weird-looking new icons. They popped up about a week ago.
Just a sec. Let me get on the screen here.
I have to do full screen to try to see this. Let's see, okay.
There used to be like the regular icons, but these are like just above them.
I see alien, frog, laughing.
Yeah, they're all kinds of weird icons that YouTube just added a short time ago.
Well, and Citizen says, seriously though, Raiders, Temple, and Last Crusade are a solid trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not down with Temple. Can't get behind it.
Nope.
I just thought Temple was overblown. Like, it was too much action. Like, they didn't give you enough room to breathe. At least with the original film, they'd have action. They'd have, scenes where they'd be, going somewhere. But then they'd take a little break and give you room to breathe, right?
Well, I think for me, what really solidified it was I showed the movies to an elementary class, and they enjoyed the second one a lot better because it brought the kids into, you know how it is. They identified. So, and it was a multiracial class.
And they had Short Round, or whatever his name was. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Short Round. Everybody loves Short Round. Right.
Yeah. Well, I could see that. That makes sense, I guess.
You Gap After Dark says, I think I'm square, we square, we're all square. And Citizen of the Universe says, what makes it cool is that Temple is actually a prequel. That is true, too.
That's
I'm so
true,
sick and
What's the
tired
best
of
result?
prequels. I'm so sick and tired of the prequels.
It should have been a sequel.
Prequels used to not be a bad word. Now it's like it's a cuss word because of what they've done to them. Like sequels and everything else. We've all been learned or taught is to watch out for them and to avoid them now because they just can't seem to do them right anymore.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know what? We are too deep into this particular broadcast for me to be able to get into it.
Well, whatever happened to, I think her name is Antiderivative Jill. Is she still around?
I'm back. I was putting my daughter to bed. It
That's
seems
fine.
like she's staying in bed for now.
God, you
But
let them stay up late.
Well, I was going to say, and
Yeah.
Jill, I know this is
Well,
late for you,
it's
Jill.
holidays. It's holidays.
Oh, that's right. We have a little turkey day coming up
yeah,
here.
you
don't
got
we?
Turkey Day coming
Kids
up in a
aren't going
few
to
days.
school,
Oh,
but I'm still putting
Oh
them
shit!
to
Thanks
bed.
for reminding me. I got to pull my turkey out of the oven or out of the.
You said that 2 days ago out of the refrigerator.
No, it's still in the freezer.
Oh, you better get it out there. And I recommend brining it in salt overnight in water. It'll be delicious.
Yeah, I usually just stick it in a bucket of water overnight, and it's pretty much ready by the next day. So.
Right.
Oh, so then I can wait.
Right, and make sure you don't keep that bucket anywhere near the bathroom. You don't want any mistakes.
Yeah, I think if you got like 12, 15 hours, throw it in a bucket of water. It's probably pretty much thawed out by then. At least that's what
Okay.
I've always done, and it seems to work. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it
Hey.
on the smoker. So
Oh, there you go. How many hours on a smoker?
how is it on a smoker?
How many hours does it take to cook a turkey on a smoker?
You can cook it on. You can put if you put it on the smoke setting, you can cook it as long as you want.
No, how long does it take? Like,
hang
I'm
on a
hungry.
second.
I want to eat now.
No, but just my question: are there other settings on a smoker other than smoke?
I could bring it up to like 500 degrees, I think. But
So
it always
bake.
Yeah,
smokes.
you're always smoking.
So the other
Like, it
settings
always-
are baked.
It's
But it
a
doesn't-
smoker.
Right, but it doesn't have settings like mince and chop, right? Yeah.
You don't want to liquefy your turkey. That's not the way to eat
Right.
turkey.
Right, but one of these days, hey, maybe that's an invention. I could invent something that minces,
know what?
chops, slices, and dices, bakes and browns, and smokes.
Well, and speaking of William Shatner, like what I really want to do, because I know that he released a video of deep fryer turkey safety.
Well, that's always good to know.
Oh,
Well, no,
I
but
thought
you've
the
seen
fire
this.
department
Come on,
did that.
Gorilla, you've seen this.
I see the
Goody.
fire department do it all the time.
Goody
Yeah, but
covered
the
that.
thing is that like you take the turkey and you just put it in there's a deep fryer, and it's like, but you got to be really careful.
Yeah, make
I've
sure it's
seen them-
completely frozen and really wet, and just drop it straight in.
Right. Right, just throw it.
Exactly.
Make it a game with the kids. Toss it in from 6 feet away.
How do you get the turkey out of the vat of boiling oil?
Turkey roulette.
Like once you drop the turkey into the vat of boiling oil, how do you get it out?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Well, what I saw was a really good show that I enjoyed was Good Eats, and he showed how to do it where he used basically a lever and a fulcrum with a rope, and he lowered it in that way.
That makes sense.
Oh, geez.
Right, it is ultimately the safest way. He was like 8 to 10 feet away when he did it. So
I see
I was
people
thinking-
just the most common way I've seen is someone has like a wire hook and all that, and then they just lower it in slowly.
And a
that's what he
winch,
did, and that way the wire
the
hook stayed in there the whole
hunchback,
time.
just wrote, yes, mister.
Oh, I wanted to bring this up. Let me catch up. Citizen 333 says, well, gotta go. Have a great night, Citizen. Thank you for stopping here and spending time with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll
See
see
you,
ya.
Trip.
And Guy After Dark says, don't tell Gorilla to wait because he'll have frozen turkey for Thanksgiving. Better have good teeth, I guess.
Okay, I'll be right back again. Sorry.
All right, Jill. Citizen Universe says, Temple was a prequel, but still to this day, most people don't know it was a prequel. That's true. They don't pay attention. Citizen Universe says, and yeah, these days prequels have been overdone. It's not that I don't think they've been overdone. It's just they don't know how to make them right, and they can't write a good script these days because their politics come ahead of are ahead of any kind of writing or ideas. So in the current state of Hollywood, in my opinion, they're just not able to write good scripts. I am now 3 attempts through trying to sit through Black Adam, and I just cannot make it through the movie because it is, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, PvP.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think one reason too prequels have become like a thing in Hollywood lately is they got, they started to realize that people were so sick of sequels that they wouldn't go to the theaters anymore. So they figured, oh, if we make it a prequel, maybe we can get some of the audience back. I think it's like a last desperate, move on the Hollywood crowd, So
it is right, and the prequels turned out worse.
AFK BRB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Pop, which Black Adam are you talking about?
The new one with Dwayne Johnson. I've now tried 3 or 4 times. And I can't make it through it. It's terrible.
Is that the Wakanda Forever?
No, I won't even watch that garbage.
That one was so racist. Yet the cancel crowd is praising it, but yet it's so racist.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, it really is quite racist.
It is. It's very divisive. It's very divisive and hateful. I won't even watch it. But Black Adam, the reviews are saying it's generally good, and I can't sit through it. It's not good at all, at least in my opinion. It's like watching a 2-hour commercial. I don't know.
Really?
But I've never been a fan of The Rock. If you're a fan of The Rock, sure, maybe you'll like it.
Not really. I mean, he has his moments, I guess, but I've never been a huge fan of his.
No, but like with the Wakanda Forever they're praising it as like they had a person that was generally from Central America there in order to go into one of the most powerful countries on earth there, they had him cross a river, and in order to defeat him, guess how they defeated him?
They dried him out.
Right.
Where did they dry him out at?
The desert.
No, on him. Where did they dry him out on?
His body?
His back. They dried his back.
You gotta be kidding.
And what do we generally call people who are
now? Right, we know where you're going, but be careful now. This is YouTube.
Yeah,
I am being very careful.
I'm very
careful.
I'm very glad your Jill is not here to hear this, because she might have been quite offended.
No, but I'm saying
I didn't hear what I was supposed to be offended about.
No, I am bashing a movie that is extremely racist.
Right,
but I'm being very careful how I say it.
Right, and you did a good job. Thank you, because what you said makes total sense, and I'm not surprised. Between that and them cutting off his wings and everything else, they might as well have castrated him right there on camera. I mean, what is the point?
Well, that would not have been pleasant to see.
Well, they did. You guys heard about the special effect where with CGI they removed his bulge in his pants. You guys heard that, right?
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
No.
Nope.
What?
They did. They actually castrated him. They did in the movie.
Well,
at least 3 ways that we know of.
What movie?
Wakanda Forever.
Oh
my.
And Gavin says, Scotty, you want a notable person?
I lost interest in anything with Namor or Namor, because there's only one person who could play the Submariner to my satisfaction.
Do you want to share who it is?
Sure.
Jill, can you tell them?
John Hamm.
Okay.
I don't know who that is, but I was a fan of the Namor comics.
Oh, what's that TV show?
Mad Men.
Mad Men. That's the guy, right?
Hey, give me the credit for that, even though I never watched it. But the only reason why I know is because
I've never watched it either, actually.
You know what? I'm just spreading the gospel of John Hamm.
I just know who he is because I've heard so much about that show, but I actually
he's a really entertaining performer.
Well, I would step out on a leash on a limb, but say if he wasn't smarter than he is, which he is, if he was really dumb, I think Keanu Reeves would have been good.
Keanu Reeves isn't dumb.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's why I was very delicate the way I said it. Is Keanu Reeves is very smart, and that's why he's avoided Disney in the MCU. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, I get what you're saying now.
Right, I'm saying
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I'm saying he's too smart for that. But if he was not too smart, I would have seen him doing the best. But the point that they make is very clear, and it's really sad. Scogli says his advice will straight up burn your house down, just in case anybody's not completely clear about that. Gap After Dark says night 333. Citizen Universe says take care of Pop and everybody. You too.
Yeah.
Citizen Universe says nightcap. Night. Good night at Gap After Dark. Enter Time says I use Coke and Mentos on my turkey. Who says they can't fly? It's the only way to fly. Gap After Dark says laughing at Edge of Time, and Skogly says, can you smell the rock? What the rock is cooking. Ah. And Tiki of Doom. Welcome, Tiki of Doom. Glad to see you here. Welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see. You're probably thinking we're a bunch of crazy people, but we're just having fun.
One of us is.
8,085. Did I show that? Oh, boobs. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so if you
Oh,
put
then,
that
yeah,
in the
that makes sense.
calculator, if you
Yes. I
if you
can't
put-
believe Jill got to it first.
yeah. Well, no, I did that a bunch when I was a kid with the calculator.
You just went around punching in boobs
Well-
into your calculator.
Well, yeah, but also other things.
Yes.
There were other. I was trying to see what other words I could spell.
Right,
I also
how is
had
it-
a calculator.
How else are you going to learn math, right? And Skogly says putting a frozen and wet turkey straight into the boiling oil is a really bad effing idea, just to be perfectly clear. Yes, kiddies. For those of you out there that are listening, we were just joking. Thank you, Skogly.
I'm sorry. I should put a disclaimer in there. Do not put a frozen turkey in the fryer. It'll cause a massive fireball. And then your fire department won't be happy because they got to leave the dinner table there to come put your fire out.
And your parents usually frown down on a burned down house.
If you'd like to learn more, William Shatner did a safety video on YouTube. Just put in William Shatner deep fried turkey into the tubes that are you, and you can find out all about the dangers.
And for some reason, it's sponsored by State Farm.
Well, like a good namer.
Oh, Scotty, I don't know whether to call that brilliant or kind of sad. That's a good one. That's a groaner, though, man.
Well, it was like the line is the only way to fly. That was a term and a logo used by American Airlines back in the 60s.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I remember that slogan. Jeez, that's how old I am.
Well, how about United? I'm insert name here. Come fly with me, huh? Like all the fun people have with that.
Yeah, I've heard that one. And usually they had like a cute stewardess or something.
They did, right? It was very sexist, right?
Like, yeah, come fly with me, hint, hint.
Right, right, exactly. That's how it was very, right? It was very obvious, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, gee, bless those old commercials. I kind of like living back then when people weren't so uptight about everything, actually.
Oh, how about poor homeless Mrs. Olson, who had to go house to house, and every commercial she was living at someone else's house trying to sell Folgers coffee.
Okay, that I missed. Maybe we didn't get that up in Canada. I don't remember that campaign.
Yeah, it was an ad campaign for Folgers coffee with this old lady named Mrs. Olson, by the way, who was in the original Mummy movie. But she plays where she's trying to push Folgers coffee onto a family every week.
I remember the character, but I don't think we actually ever got Folgers up here in Canada, so that's probably why we didn't get the ads.
I don't drink coffee, so I don't
think
know.
we had that brand.
I missed the Pennzoil one where the guy went around like Walmart and that, and every time someone didn't have Pennzoil in their hand, he'd smack them with the dipstick going, think with your dipstick, Jimmy.
Yeah, I could see him not lasting long around here these days. Gap After Dark says, so was the frozen wet turkey into boiling oil the first test for photon torpedoes? And Skogly says basically yes.
I've met in all of my travels, his was the most flammable.
Chicken. Most explosive. Tiki of Doom says, thank you, Pop Culture and Jill, for keeping Real Trek alive, and the pleasure is all ours. I'm thinking
You're
myself,
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you.
It's a lot of fun.
Speaking of frozen turkeys, did anybody ever see that Mythbusters episode years ago where they shot a frozen turkey out of a cannon?
I don't think I caught that one.
And they shot it in, I can't remember what they shot it into, but it was like devastating. This turkey just basically blew whatever the hell they shot it at totally to pieces, because those things are pretty damn good projectiles apparently when you get the velocity high enough, right?
Right.
Wow. I'll never forget that. That was a good episode.
And Scogli says it's an astonishing cataclysm. And Lemon Pie says, we replace your coffee secretly with Folger's coffee crystals. Yes, that was one of the commercials, too.
Jim doesn't have more than 2 cups at home.
Oh, yeah, but thank you, Scotty. For any of us that are old geezers like myself, I don't mean you're old, Scotty, but there used to be a series of commercials where a housewife, the husband would be heading off to work, and she'd say, "Do you want another cup?" And he would say, "No, no." And she says, "Jim never asked for a second cup at home."
I
Because
remember
they were
that.
promoting. Well, that
I do
was the
remember that
same.
one.
That was the same lady that was actually in the movie Airplane that played that character in parody.
Oh God.
When she applied for the role, they didn't even realize at the time they were hiring the same lady who was in the actual commercials. So she, and by the way, and also it was her idea to have the line of passengers with the baseball bat and the gun and all
Oh
that kind of
God.
stuff.
That was a great scene.
It was, and that was her idea. She presented that to the directors, the Zaz team, and they liked it. So that's how we saw that movie, that
Damn,
scene in the movie.
She must have been a pretty cool lady.
Yep, but that was the actual lady from the commercials. For us old people, Lemon Pie says we replaced your coffee. Yes, we have. And Gap After Dark says, anybody remember the WKRP in Cincinnati episode
Oh yeah.
with the turkey drop that went down in
Oh.
infamy? Absolutely. Les Nessman.
Oh, the humanity.
I don't know.
Oh, the humanity! Will someone think of the children?
I
Like,
honestly thought turkeys could fly.
I hate to bring like decisions to the fore, but like it's one of those things where like I'm gonna be doing a Thanksgiving Day stream. I'm a Canadian, but I have nothing to do on Thursday. So
What time are you going on, Scotty?
I don't know, whenever I want. And so, but
Hey,
I want to play.
Send me an invite or an email or something because you got my email, right? So
I
just
do
let me
have
know.
your email, and I'm
'Cause
going to be
I'm not-
reviewing.
I'm probably not working Thursday, so I should be able to check it out if you want to, let me know when.
I'll hang out for sure.
Cool.
And so, like, I want to do planes, trains, and automobiles as a review, and I want to follow that up with Thanksgiving because I'm weird. And then it would be very interesting. What was that last thing that we were talking about?
I'm not sure. Tiki
Yeah,
Dumo
well-
says, I speak jive.
I speak jive.
I speak jive. And by the way, the actress who played that from Leave It to Beaver, her
Barbara
career had
Billingsley.
Barbara Billingsley, her career had pretty much dried up at that point. But most of the other actresses, by the way, a lot of actresses were presented with that role and they all turned it down. She's the only one that took that role.
Really?
And it revived her career. And then all those other actresses came to her saying, wow, I wish I would have taken that part. You're so smart in taking that part. Everybody underestimated that movie before it came out. They just did not understand it.
Well, it was pretty different.
Oh, yes.
I'll never forget when my cousin and I went and saw Airplane when it came out, and we
Same
laughed
here.
so bloody. We laughed so bloody hard. My ribs were sore for a day after. That's how funny
Yes.
it was.
I saw it as a co-hit. I saw it as a co-hit with 9 to 5.
Oh
And
God!
right, 9 to 5 was great. I remember watching it, and I was like, "What is it? There's a second movie?" And Airplane came on, and it just overshadowed 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I mean,
Airplane,
9 to 5 was good,
was
but
better. Yeah, Airplane was better. Airplane
right, and
was
then
insane.
and then trying to explain to all my friends who had never seen it, trying to explain the jokes, and nobody gets it until they actually saw it themselves. And now
Yeah.
that's a movie you show the newer generation, and they wouldn't understand what they couldn't get one joke.
Well, they wouldn't know the references because
The
a lot of
references.
the actors even they wouldn't be familiar with, right? So.
Well, and we had the history of the disaster movies, right? We had the airport and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, earthquake and yeah.
Yes, right. They don't have that now.
I
It's
remember
all
seeing Earthquake in the theater too, and they actually had the speakers that shook
sense
everybody.
around, right? Sense around.
And it was like everything was shaking. That was pretty weird.
My here's what's funny is my stepbrother Mike, a great guy. About 10 years ago, he wanted to install a new TV and speaker system in his house, and he kept saying, "You're going to install sense around, right?" I said, "No, it's surround sound. It's
God.
surround sound." He goes, "I thought it's called sense around." I said, "Get out of 1974. It's called surround sound."
Well, I still remember quadraphonic stereo sound from back then,
Ooh,
which
yeah.
I never had one of those, so I never
I
got
did.
to
Oh,
hear it. But
fancy! 4 speakers instead of 2.
was it good? Was it worth it? Or
No, because channel 1 on the right is channel 2 on the right, and channel 2 on the left is the same as channel 2 on the right. So basically, it's just a reproduction of the other 2 channels. It was not worth it. It
so
was
it
all hype.
didn't really make a
Right.
much of a
You
difference.
weren't getting
Okay.
4 separate channels. You were just getting 2 of the left and 2 of the right.
Oh, it's just double. Yeah. Gee, it would have
Yeah.
been nice if it had been 4 separate channels, though. That's probably why it didn't last, actually, I guess.
Right. No, once they invented the actual surround sound, like by the time Star Wars came out, that was actually filmed with 6 different microphones. So by then they
Well,
start really getting into the real thing.
yeah. That's
And
the thing,
Tiki
too.
Doom,
Technology moves on so fast, right? So,
thank goodness in some cases, yeah, exactly for
yeah,
that reason. Tiki of Doom says Plane, Trains, and Automobiles is a classic, absolutely.
it's a good one.
And Tiki of Doom says, I like the music in the background of the stream. Nice touch. Well, thank you, Tiki of Doom. Lemon Pie says there was an SNL skit with Chris Farley as a coffee drinker, and he goes nuts when they tell him they replaced his coffee. Oh, I need to check that out. Lemon Pie says, Tiki, yes, that's a classic movie.
Yeah, you can't go too wrong with Chris Farley. God, he was so funny.
No, but the poor guy, he reminds me of, like Curly from the Three Stooges and John Candy. When you get us to a certain weight, you got to calm down. I think a weight was a lot of his demise. I knew
That's
watching that. Okay, I've been a big Three Stooges fan, Laurel and Hardy, all that, where there was a fat comedian. And I remember watching the days when Chris Farley was still alive, telling my friends that man's not going to live long. There's no way that man's going to live long the way he acts and moves. His body is just not.
It was a drug overdose, so wasn't it?
It was a drug overdose, yes, and the pictures are on the net, but don't go look at them.
So he might have lived longer if he hadn't, been into the substance abuse thing.
A combination of both of them. It's like Robin Williams. You could tell when they were under the influence. I'll put it that way, and when they weren't.
Yeah, sad endings for both of those guys, definitely.
And Lemon Pie says, yes, that's a classic movie. And Tiki Doom says Universal Studios had an earthquake attraction. Yes, which I enjoyed it. I liked it. I've still never seen it. The only Irwin Allen movie I saw was Poseidon Adventure, which was the best Irwin Allen movie, so I'm not going to knock that.
Tiki of Doom, long time no see.
Ones?
Yeah, try at least Towering Inferno. I recommend.
Oh, that was another one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw all of those movies. Oh my God, I'm old.
Oh no.
Lemon Pie says when you get up to a certain point, a certain weight, you got to calm down. Words of wisdom, yes. There's a certain point in your life where you realize, well, I'm going to lose a fight. Just go with it. Tiki of Doom says John Williams did a few of the 70s disaster films. Yes, he did. And Gaps After Dark says Night Pops. Great stream. Good night, all. Thank you, Gaps After Dark. Thank you.
Night, Gap.
Tiki says, hail, Captain Spock.
Well, good night, Gap After Dark.
But the theme for remember, John Williams also went back to 60s television, sci-fi, Lost in Space. Anybody, right? So
yeah, that was a good theme. Actually, he wrote 2 different themes for Lost in Space, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he also did Land of the Giants, which we don't see because it's just not popular.
He also wrote the anthem for the NBC Nightly News.
Right,
Really?
and also the 20th Century Fox logo that we've all seen about, like for example, Star Wars. We all know the beginning where it shows the 20th Century Fox logo, right?
That
originally
John Williams.
Well, no, that just did the intro. Predates John Williams, but he created and wrote the second part, which was da 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 da. That was his.
Yes. Well, no, and that's something in terms of John Williams, and I hope that I'm touching on the right thing, although I could work on my phrasing. John Williams made the anthem of Star Wars based on the fact that it would be it would be introduced by the 20th century fanfare. 20th Century Fox fanfare.
Yeah. He looked at like one theme, right?
They were like, this is what's going to be playing first. And then he was like, this is what I'm going to play right after that play.
I remember that now, Scotty. That's a brilliant observation. Yes. It fed into it so well.
Yeah.
It was like da 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 da, and then it
right.
was like
It totally altered it from there on. Right.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And
Right, but that was the
I
first movie where we ever saw that extended opening theme. Right.
Williams was brilliant making that choice. Yeah.
He was pretty good. Whatever. I don't know.
And by the way,
Pretty good.
when
He
I was
might
working,
have it
when I was,
go Oscars.
just a side note, when I was working at a high school, I was a teacher. The music teacher, I was talking to her, and she was teaching her kids the Superman theme, which is fantastic, and how to play Superman. And I told her, I said, "Wow, yeah." And I said, "Wow," I said, I go, "I think that's my favorite thing. I think I like it even better than Star Wars." And she said, "Well, John Williams was a very excellent and he's very influential." She said, "But a lot of his stuff was plagiarized and he stole from other people." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said he would hire underlings and assistants, and when they gave him ideas, he would claim them. I don't know if that's true, but that's just one person's opinion.
It's not really uncommon, though, in a lot of professions, really, to
Correct.
hire people to feed you ideas. And I mean, Roddenberry could be, mentioned in that sentence, couldn't he? I mean, he had other people.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that
influence him.
though. Right. I didn't
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
say
I
that.
don't dwell on it, but I think I've heard things about it over the years. So
Right. So I guess ultimately what happens is
I'm
there's
just
a lot
saying
of
it's
people.
not uncommon. That's all.
No, it is not uncommon, and there's a lot of people that get their hearts broken who do a lot of hard work and don't get the credit for it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, definitely.
But I know this. Hold on, let me show this here. And Lemon Pie says Farley was doing cartwheels in Aspen, Colorado, outdoors in the winter one night that itself could kill an obese man. Oh, well, yeah. Sad, poor guy. Tiki of Doom says Lucasfilm Limited. Well, it is now. Tiki of Doom says I heard the same John Williams claims when I went to film school in L.A. I think it's sour grapes. Ooh, what a coincidence. But I know we need. We're going on almost 3 hours here, so I didn't want to end the stream without Jill here.
I'm here.
But, okay, thank you, Jill. And I know especially because you have a lot to do tonight. I wanted to thank everyone in the chat tonight. Everybody personally. I know I had a lot of people here, so I'm not able to call out everyone by name. But LDG, Tiki of Doom, Lemon Pie, Skogly, Oiler Greg. I mean, all you guys. I love you guys for being here.
We had a guy that messaged me, and I invited him over. His Mike Shriver. He said he'll be back.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you,
Awesome.
Gorilla. Yeah, thank you, Gorilla.
Yeah, he crashed. He crashed like an hour ago.
Okay.
Anybody that's left, hit the thumbs up, because we're only at like 13 or something here. So
Send him to my.
He's so Canadian.
Send Mike to my stream tomorrow too.
Hey, can you send me what time's your stream tomorrow, Jill?
Noon Central Time.
Oh, I'll be missing that one.
Okay, at 10 o'clock. Hey, can you send me the link at 10 o'clock so I can forward it to him?
Sure.
That'd be the easiest. But especially if YouTube doesn't fully fix the thing there tomorrow. By tomorrow.
Thank you for mentioning that, Gorilla.
Why do you think that Jill is your Roberta Lincoln?
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about Star Trek. I'm sorry, I was on a Star Trek podcast.
Oh, is that that's a reference?
Roberta Lincoln is Terry Garr from.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the episode title.
Operation
Yesterday's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's right at the
Tomorrow's
end of the
yesterday.
season. Right. That's the one, Scotty.
It was going to be a spin-off series, but it never happened.
Notification, I would highly
Yeah, it was
recommend
the pilot for a spin-off that didn't occur. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tiki of Doom says, I remember similar claims about John Williams and Holtz the Planets. And I'm a fan of Holtz the Planets. And yes, I attest to that. There are a lot of similarities.
Well,
but
yeah,
I don't blame. Right. Just in the same with reading books. And okay, my favorite author is Ray Bradbury. And I will admit that a lot of what he wrote was inspired by some of the great authors before him. And he even mentioned them by name. So John Williams, for example, taking influence from Holtz the Planets is perfectly fine.
Oh, that's acceptable.
Well, yeah, I think any artist is.
Like George
is
Lucas never saw Hidden Fortress. We're all at it. There's nothing new under the sun.
Right. Because that's basically an artist saying, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what I've learned, and this is where I learned everything from. I think it's fine.
Steele?
Right.
Hacks copy geniuses
Hidden
steal.
Fortress is a great film, by the way. I love that film.
There is
Imitation
nothing new
is the sincerest form of plagiarism.
There's
It is,
nothing
right.
new under the sun, and that's why I carry a parasol.
Yeah, it was explored in the South Park episode. The Simpsons did it, where Butters
Yeah.
is trying to be evil, and he finds out that the Simpsons through Mr. Burns already did all of the evil things that he's trying to do. And
I'm just picturing Butters trying to be evil. That's hilarious.
yeah, it
Well,
is.
he is. What is his alter ego? Chaotic something.
Point being,
Yeah,
Captain-
something chaos.
And,
But
Tiki
anyway-
Doom says,
but
"Good
anyway,
panel.
then they
Thank you,
said-
Tiki."
Then they said the Simpsons got it from the Twilight Zone, or some certain episode where Lisa wanted to be the god of a civilization in a Treehouse of Horror episode.
Well,
So
that was
everything-
the episode where the two astronauts landed on the planet, and there was a miniature civilization with, and one of them said, "You're going to crack wide open," because he saw himself as a god among these little people there. Claude Akins, anybody who likes Claude Akins, who also starred in The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
Well, if he was
That
in the
was
Twilight
great.
Zone, I like him.
Right, it was a great
Maple Tree
episode.
Was great. That was a great one.
And Tiki of Doom, Star Trek movie collection is on HBO Max. FYI, I'm surprised not on Paramount Plus instead. Tiki of Doom says, "Agreed, Captain. Nothing new under the sun."
I disagree. I think there's always something. I think that there are always new interpretations under the sun.
well, exactly. You
Interpretation,
can look
yes.
at it the other way. You can combine things in infinite combinations.
Yeah, it's my favorite tea time.
But what
Well,
you
I-
need though is somebody with a mind who's willing to bring new ideas to the table instead of just, I don't like bringing it up again, but the political views. I wish they could just get politics out of Hollywood.
I could imagine every century people are going, oh, there's nothing new. There's nothing ever will be new again. It's all been done. And it's like every century is like people are thinking the same thing. And then every century things change, right? And new things do happen. So
Every day.
every day is a new day. Definitely.
Always keep out hope. Exactly. And
It's
Gorilla,
a new
tell us about your.
opportunity.
Yep. And Gorilla, tell us about your channel.
Well, on Saturday or on Wednesdays, we were watching Stranger Things at 7:00 Central Standard Time. I can't remember, or like on episode like 5 or 6 or 3 or 4 of season 2.
All
I
right.
can't remember. I won't be streaming this Wednesday or this Thursday, but usually on Thursdays we do Walton's reviews. I'm gonna move that to Friday, hopefully, if Germ's available. Then on Saturdays we do Babylon 5. They're at 6:00. Then on Sunday we just finished up our H.G. Wells month. We're moving into 6 weeks of Christmas there. So on Sunday we're gonna be watching Ernie Saves Christmas. So I don't know
Oh,
what-
Ernest Saves Christmas is a great movie.
yeah,
my
that's a germ pick there. Like we're
I
gonna be
love that
watching
movie.
It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, doing a double feature of Home Alone.
Gee, those are great. Those are
I
all
can't-
great.
I can't
Yeah.
remember what the other one is. I know I'm saving It's a Wonderful Life to the Sunday before Christmas.
Home
But,
Alone 2 is my second favorite Donald Trump movie.
Hey, Gorilla, when are you going to be showing all these? Are you going to post it on your channel and your community page or something?
I try to make the things ahead of time there, but I do movies at 7:00 Central Standard Time every Sunday.
On Sundays, okay. I should be able to join in some of
No.
those then. Great. I'd
Very
love
cool.
to watch some of those because some of those are my favorite Christmas movies for sure.
Yeah, they are great.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas movie is Bad Santa, but that's neither here nor there. And
Mm.
Jill, how would you like to tell us about your channel here?
Well, tomorrow we're going to be reviewing Galileo 7 from Star Trek, the original series. And it's going to be super awesome because Spock is a big, he's got a big character growth in that episode. It's going to be fun.
I have never heard a woman say, I want to see Spock bottomless more than you just described. You were like, it's so big. It's such a big Spock.
So you're talking about the Gallows?
Galileo, yes. Galileo
no,
7.
No,
The
it's
episode itself. The
Hey,
episode itself
Prodigy-
is very big.
Prodigy's Forever
It is a big
Changing.
episode. I love
It's
it.
now. Hey Jill, Prodigy's forever changed it. It's now called the Gallo.
No, it's not because
Gallo.
that's not canon.
Galileo.
Yeah,
pronounce
please,
properly.
yeah.
Lower decks or Prodigy or whatever. Any of that is just a parody of Star Trek, not actually.
I
It's
think
not even a
Hey,
parody. It's not even a parody. They detest the Star Trek brand.
Wait a
So
second.
No.
Prodigy is the only filth that doesn't hate Star Trek. I did watch it. They don't hate it. They just get it wrong.
Hey, watch this last episode last week. There they had the Galileo 7 in the show.
Jill, you watched Prodigy and you didn't tell me?
No, I told you. I've told you. I put it in the comments
Well,
section on one of
listening
your
is
live
Good.
streams.
I forget things.
But Scotty. You know, if the ex was here, she'd tell Scotty that he's a man because he doesn't listen.
Is that
What
Why
did you
would-
say?
what? Oh no, I don't could say those. That's true. I could. Say
I think
that, but I won't.
Scotty totally misinterpreted what Jill said when it was like
Don't tell
Spock
me
has
what
a
I
major
misinterpreted. I'll
Spock has a
misinterpret it
major
myself.
part. Spock has a major part in
I
the
was
episode.
Spock.
She meant a major role in the episode, not a major part.
We
like
all
you were
know
thinking,
Jill is
Scotty.
attracted to Spock. I'm sorry.
But I am. This is true. But I wasn't
Well,
talking
we all
about
are
that.
attracted to
That's
Spock.
right.
I know.
if
I've
we're
never
straight.
thought of Spock in that particular way.
But I think
This
Scotty
is-
was misinterpreting things there.
I'm not going to be invited.
Willfully.
Anyway, no,
for
you will. You
humorous
will be
effect.
invited. You're invited to talk about Spock's big episode.
Yeah,
I think I know what tea time on Friday's about.
Spock's big part.
There is no tea time on Friday.
No, there's no tea time this week, but
Aw.
next week on December 2nd, we'll be talking about
Well-
a special movie
Well, I will
with
miss
William
it.
Shatner in it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad it won't be on this Friday, actually, Joe, because I have a serious appointment. I won't be able to make it this Friday.
Well,
so
this
Well,
Friday
that's why
there
we
is no tea
changed
time.
it. That's why we
I'm
changed
glad that
it.
it's not on because I would be sad to miss it, but I will have to miss it this Friday.
Oh wait, so my birthday falls on Monday
Good,
next
good, it's
this
not
year.
And also, usually on Thursdays, I go to Phantasmagorium for Quantum Leap, but not this Thursday. We'll have to wait for next Thursday for that.
It's
Yep.
a holiday season.
But
I want-
still go to the Phantasmagorium anyway. 'cause
Yes,
they're going to be doing
absolutely.
I'm going to
It's a-
go make a complete ass of myself.
I
Right,
can't
especially if-
wait.
Right. Especially if you're a fan of Quantum Leap, I recommend it. Tiki of Doom says, so good to hear you guys again. Thank you, Tiki, and thank you for being here. Edge
Oh,
of Time says, anyone
yeah.
recommend the new Christmas story? Ralphie, I'm halfway through it. I got halfway through the new movie, and let's just say I'm not as disappointed as I expected.
I
you
heard
pay
it was
hold on.
good.
Yeah,
hang on,
apparently
you expect
they got a
you're
lot
not
of the
as
old
disappointed
cast
as you
back in it.
expected, so-
Most of the old cast is there. It's really sad that Melinda Dillon didn't return. But what's great is they got Julie Haggerty from Airplane, and she would have been the only one I would have recommended as a replacement. So she does really well.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I was
Right.
hoping it would be decent because when I just heard about it a few days ago, and I thought, wow.
Right.
I actually saw an interview with the guy that played what's his name, the kid.
Peter Billingsley.
Ralphie.
Yeah, he was actually really good in the interview, and he was like really enthusiastic. And I thought when he mentioned that they got most of the original cast back, I thought, gee, this might actually be good.
And
So,
what's
yeah.
and what's great is his voice is actually good, and for the narrating like they did with the original, with the original author who's now dead, Gene Smart or Gene. I'll
can't
think of it
remember his-
later.
Coon?
But it does have Ralphie where he looks up in the sky and he daydreams and it has his fantasy. So all that is in there, which makes it really touching.
That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
Right. And a post note is since then, in the last couple of days, that actual house, which has been turned into a museum, is going up for sale, and the original actors are planning on pulling together and buying it.
That's awesome. I actually saw that online the other day that it was actually up for sale now. So yeah, if they could all buy it, that would be really cool.
Yeah, similar to the Brady Bunch house, when it was bought by somebody who loved it. Well, I don't know, a company, but still they restored it back to what it should be, which I think
Yeah,
is
what are
fascinating.
if the original cast could buy the house and actually open it up for the fans, like do tours and stuff?
Well, they're not going
Hey,
to do the tour.
I'm done promoting my channel.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you
yes,
get
yes,
her
Jill.
face
Sorry,
off
I
of the
apologize.
screen?
Thank you.
Okay, Skogly, would you like to mention your channel
Oh, I wanted my face.
since you're in order? I know I should go by arrival order, but I'm
PvP.
I'm PvP. I'm sorry. I was trying to read.
Pleasant Valley Pickers.
I have a new name now. Oh my goodness.
I
don't have
apologize
much.
for that.
I don't have much to promote anyway. Basically, I've still just got my music playlist, which I, generally update something, once a week or so. But nothing too spectacular. Just if you love music, if you love rock and roll, if you love all kinds of, interesting musical sounds, go check out my playlists. I haven't got any original content up yet, because I just haven't really figured out what I really want to do at this point yet. But yeah, just go check out. If you love music, go check my channel out.
Which I definitely do. So I highly recommend it, everybody.
Awesome, thank you.
I hate music.
And next in order
No, you don't,
is
Scotty.
I know, I'm being facetious.
Captain. Would you like to tell us
Being
about your channel?
facetious. Hi, apparently, according to recent studies, if you subscribe now to Captain Infinity, then you'll become taller, more handsome, more beautiful. You'll get a pay rise, more popular with your friends. You'll be the matriarch or patriarch of your family. Your life will just get better. Apparently, no guarantees, but that might be the case. Subscribe now to Captain Infinity. All right, become more sexy if that's possible. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Captain. I really appreciate that. And next, Scotty, you're in the spotlight.
Hi, everybody. My name is Scotty R37. I usually just show up here primarily. This is, again, one of the best places to find new, old Star Trek. And it's been fantastic. And then I hang out with Jill to talk about the old Star Trek. But I still love that, too. Then I go over to the Phantasmagorium, and usually I talk about Tarantino movies. We were going to do a whole other thing, but then there was like this incredible accident, and there were bones broken. So now we don't know what we're doing, but I'm in charge, which is scary. So Wednesday, I'm going to be hanging out with Steve on the Phantasmagorium. Thursday, I'm going to be playing 2 movies that are different, but they're both Thanksgiving movies. And on Friday, I am going to be watching The Princess Bride.
Yay! Woo!
Are you going to be watching
What do you
that on
know?
your own?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I wish we could have done a stream.
You know what?
and
I don't
watched it
even
Bless
together.
you,
You know-
Scotty. I'm sure it'll be a
I'm
disappointment.
so impressed that Scotty's finally going to watch such a great film.
I'm not looking forward to it.
I just wish I could
So
be there
that's
to
me.
hear
Take
his
me off.
comments.
Take me off the full screen.
All right. And I wanted to bring up that Tiki Doom says Captain needs to stream after this about Back to the Future 2.
I've never heard of this movie.
Hey, what
He
is
doesn't
that?
believe in Back to the Future too. It didn't happen because
Never happened.
the
Can't
time
happen.
travel doesn't work.
Don't make me fight him right here.
And Tiki of Doom says 60 Star Trek has the hottest women in miniskirts. I'm not going to argue that.
I
Agreed.
would
Tiki
agree.
of Doom says Captain Spock lives in the fastest country. What, you moved to the U.S. without telling us? Skogly says,
No,
according
he's
to
right
canon,
to an extent.
right, according to canon and logic, Back to the Future 2 doesn't exist. And Tiki of Doom says, oh, wait, so do I, LOL. And Dalek, welcome, Dalek.
It's all right,
Sorry,
Tiki,
Dalek.
we will overcome.
Alex?
Looks like I got in just as the show is ending.
ASTMO
Yes,
will be
so
free
sorry, Dalek.
again.
Yeah, so sorry, Dalek. Yes, we've been on it for 3 hours and 13 minutes approximately, and
We've been busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
screw it. Let's go 4 hours.
right. Let's just start over from the beginning and talk about it all over again. Dalek, I
Oh,
recommend
please,
you.
God, no.
So the
Right,
sea
yeah.
monster.
Right, Dalek. I recommend you checking out the review of this. Whatever you missed, I think you'll like it. We had a great time. And once again, I think we all walked out learning
Yeah, I
and
think
knowing
I
a lot more
enjoyed
than we did.
myself. Thanks very much, by the way, Pop Culture.
But it's
Pal.
always a good time seeing you, man. Sorry that you
Yeah,
missed it.
it's my pleasure, and thank you for being here. That helped a
Hi,
lot of our
Dalek.
experience.
Yeah, Dalek, too bad you didn't join us. Jeez.
It's
Oh,
okay.
don't make
Time
him
is
feel like that. It was a perfect number. There's always another time, Dalek. You can always start a stream, Dalek. No, I think I'm getting a sense of this community I keep hearing about. Thanks very much.
Yeah, Dalek, if you can hear me, set your alert button if it'll work, and maybe that might
Well,
help.
we were trying to figure that out earlier.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's the whole live thing's broken.
You're probably right, but we usually start our stream about 3 hours prior to whatever it is now for you. So whatever 3 hours ago it was, that's usually about what time we covered this on Mondays.
Well,
And I want
he's in England, right?
yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
So
Yes.
that would be
8 hours
there
different
6
from where
hours,
I am.
6 hours. So
Pop culture. What time do you broadcast? You are Central Time, yes?
I am Pacific at 6 p.m. my time and 8 p.m.
Pacific?
Jill's time. Yes, Jill. I know it's Central, 8 p.m. for Jill, and 9
Yes.
p.m. for Bird. That's how I don't know why those are my clocks. I have Jill
Those
for
are your
Central,
clocks.
and I have Bird for Eastern time.
Yeah,
But it
'cause you're on
happens
at,
every
you were on at
Monday.
6 my time tonight Pacific, and I was still at work for another hour after that. So
Oh yes,
yeah, you're on Central then.
yeah.
No, he's on Pacific.
I'm on Pacific.
Oh,
I'm
you're
on
on Pacific
Central.
too. Okay, so okay, that makes sense then.
Anyway, so if you're trying to set your clocks,
Oh, yeah, the time differences are pain in the butt for sure.
Yeah, if they would stop doing that. Tiki of Doom says, "Hey, Dalek," and yeah. Is there anything that either of you would like to add before we close the stream? I know it's late. Specifically, England, Dalek says yes in the UK, and Tiki of Doom,
Well-
yes. Hail, bird is the word.
Well, if you're looking for something to watch after this, Clobby is still doing his Monday night comics talk
Mm.
on his channel.
Yay!
Go check
Thank
him
you,
out.
Jill.
You're welcome.
And I wanted to make a quick plug of my channel. As you can see, we do Star Trek the Animated Series every Monday here, and then Tuesday you will find me over on the wonderful Antiderivative Jill channel, which is tomorrow, doing covers and reviews of the TOS, which is even better than this stream, I have to say. I am humiliating in that point. It is better and more informational. And on Wednesdays, I do a Gilligan's Island stream. And sometimes I have a random rumblings from the lab stream with open content, open mic, and anybody's welcome at any time.
and all of it is gold. Ring the bell, like, subscribe, share.
All that good stuff.
Well, Tiki Doom says, "Come on, Captain Spock. Who's that? We need a chaos stream."
I did one earlier. All right, maybe later. Let me have a sandwich and a cup of tea. If there's nothing else going on in 20 minutes, fine. I'll fire up the converters. If anyone else wants to come along. Random chaos and nonsense and a bit of time travel, maybe. Sure, why not, Tiki?
Okay, Jill. I don't remember. I know I feel terrible, but do you have a clip of your show tomorrow?
My show. I don't have it
Well,
prepared. No.
My
You
show.
have the
We
trailer
Clip
might-
of
for
tomorrow's
next
show.
week's
What temporal
animated?
nonsense is this?
Actually, yeah, I do, but
You
I
don't
guess
have the next week little clip?
Yeah, but
not for
Everyone
the
yelling at
animated,
Jill.
not for the
No,
animated
for
series.
for the Galileo.
Oh yeah, I do have Galileo.
Galileo.
Play
But
that
I have
one
to
then.
find it. So
We'll
that's
wait.
for tomorrow.
Can you give me the brandy?
Okay, I have it here. Let's see.
Yeah.
No, I can't give you the brand. No, all my videos are on my StreamYard.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, show us the Galileo clip there, Jill. If you can.
Galileo,
She's
Galileo.
Get us,
working
get
on
us
it. I can
enthused.
hear
So people will join in and
mice
want to watch.
clicking.
Okay, yes, I'm clicking. Click, click, click.
You're doing
Okay,
all
that's
the best.
Oh my God, we put Jill under pressure. Oh no.
Well, you demanded it just recently.
I did not demand it. I suggested it.
I swear to God, Peter.
Just
think
trying to
Pop
help
Culture
Jill
Fair
get
is-
more views tomorrow. That's all.
But yeah, tomorrow, this is the
She'll get-
episode.
She'll
You
get
to see.
thousands of more views if she shows
Thou-
up.
What do you think, Dalek? If I have a
Well,
chaos stream, are
Maybe
you coming on,
dozens.
Dalek?
Okay.
Dozens,
Well,
there you go.
Don't forget, I'm there, so I put people off.
Hey, I'd be there if I could be, but I'll be working my butt off at work, sadly.
You don't put people off as long as you don't talk about the aliens, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be-
flirting
I'll-
with Doris in account more like.
Yeah, I'll be hardly there. I'll be there hardly working.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
And I will be covering next week on this channel episode 14 of the animated series. The
If
slaver
I have a
weapon.
stream, Dalek, do you want
The
to come
slaver
on?
weapon.
What about you, Scotford?
Dalek says
No,
I wasn't planning on streaming tonight, but I will be on
Oh no,
Wednesday.
it's gone midnight. It's gone the bewitching hour, Scotty. Time for bed for you.
Yeah, no, it is bedtime.
Pop
Yeah, I gotta head
culture.
to bed here shortly too.
What is next week's episode?
The slaver weapon.
That's
Slaver
really?
weapon.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with that one.
Yeah, I like Slaver Weapon. That's probably one of my favorites.
I couldn't find. I was
All
looking
right.
for. I was looking for the promo for that, but I couldn't find it.
I have
I
a
never saw
promo,
it.
but I
I've
don't
never
want to show
seen it.
my legs. I'm trying to remember how I solved it last week. I don't want to show my legs again.
Well, just hit stop screen as soon as it's over.
Hey, Pop. The best way to do that is just to delete that video.
Well, when
No,
did we
but
figure out Gorilla? After that, you and I went on and we had a private stream where I figured it out. Do you remember what I did to solve it?
Wasn't it like file share or something?
Was it show the video and not the tab, or show the tab and not the video?
It showed your video there, but then it just stopped. I can't. I think it was file share.
Yeah, because I think if I try to show the tab, you guys weren't hearing the audio. I'm going to try really quick. If it's not
Hearing
working,
the what?
please let me know. And I don't want, because last thing I want to do is waste your time. Everybody's busy, and I understand that.
Incredibly busy.
Now, hopefully, you guys get audio. If you did not get audio for this, please let me know.
If we don't get audio, someone will do commentary.
I will.
Yeah, someone will say something.
Well, if there's no audio, please stop me so I don't make a fool of myself completely. Can you hear that?
Oh, you sign language.
Because I couldn't hear enough of it.
Who?
It's there, but also
You
don't
cannot
forget
hear
you're
that?
playing background music, right?
You got the volume turned up there, Pop?
Yeah, yes, all the way. And I did select, for all you guys out there screaming at me, I did select share audio. So StreamYard has a problem.
No, but you also don't forget you are playing background music. That's
Well, that, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
preparation
Maybe kill
of,
the background
Right.
music.
of audio.
wasn't
I don't know, man.
I thought- no, that's not it, because last week I was not sharing background music, and that had no effect.
You weren't
Remember?
here last week. There was no show last week.
I mean, my last stream.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Okay. All right. So one last attempt. I'm going to try this. Bear with me here, guys. And I will try to
Right.
stop it before I show my hairy legs.
This is what you've all been tuning in for, folks.
Okay. So we're looking at.
It's better that you're aware of it, though.
I'll probably regret this, but here we go.
Let's go for it.
Stardate 4187.3.
Yeah.
The
hear
Enterprise
it.
shuttlecraft Copernicus is en route to Starbase 25 with an important cargo. A slaver stasis box discovered by archaeologists on the planet Kazin.
This is the Trader's Claw calling Mr. Sulu. We have a female prisoner. Will you bargain, or must we take harsh action?
Not interested.
I am as the falcon left me, with 2 ribs broken. I have not set them nor bandaged myself. He may conceivably kill me.
Oh, I got it. I cut it off before the bad news. All right. And now it's Jill's turn. Thank you, Jill.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Captain's log, stardate 2821.7. 7 of our shipmates still have not been heard from. Our normal...
Ooh, that's fast.
That's a little fast.
We're tight on time.
Either that or Kirk was on amphetamines or something.
Oh,
Again?
Log, stardate 2821.7. 7 of our shipmates still have not been heard from. Our normal searching systems useless.
Do you know what you've done? You've concerned yourself with only 7 people. You said something about a needle in a haystack. It's useless.
If they're not there, Commissioner, then they're dead by now.
We'll use virtually every piece of equipment aboard this craft in attaining orbit.
You mean 3 of us must stay behind?
Yes.
And who's to choose?
As commanding officer, the choice will be mine.
Sulu. Prepare to abandon search. Set course for Marcus 3.
Go back!
It's getting hot.
Nah, it's just you.
Yay! So everybody out there watching, if you want to see what happens, tune in tomorrow and join us on Antiderivative Jill stream, where we will cover that episode, the Galileo 7.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
It's a big Spock episode.
Yeah, thank you, Jill, for sharing that with us. And Edge of Time says Thunder Chicken. Edge of Time says Square.
You're
Tiki of
welcome.
Doom says Totes Busy. Oh. Tiki of Doom says Copernicus. What a nerd. And Apple 2GS. Welcome, Apple 2GS. Thank you for joining us. Coming in a little late, oh well.
Apple 2GS.
May as well say hello. And, like I said earlier, better late than
33
never.
megahertz processor.
Right, hit
Hello,
your
Apple.
alert. Yes, Apple, hit your alert button so maybe you can, hopefully, if YouTube is nice, can let you know when we're starting our stream.
If YouTube is nice.
Right. Tiki of Doom says, Sulu, stop Asian hate. I totally agree. And Apple TGS says, the Slaver episode. One of my favorite from TAS. I totally, absolutely 100% agree with you.
Yeah, me too. I love Slaver Weapon. I think it's one of the best episodes of the animated series.
Right, I'm so excited.
Never seen it.
Ooh, even better. I'm so
But
excited. I
you've
can't
read
wait
the
to cover it.
novelization.
I have read the novel. You know what? I don't remember the novelization of the Slaver Weapon.
Well, I think it'll be a great time. I'm really looking forward to joining as much as you as I can next week, whoever can make it.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll try and actually get out of work earlier next week for that one. I might be able to, actually.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that.
At the city on the edge of forever.
Oh, my.
Which will be coming up soon, and we will be covering that one as well. And once again, thank you. Highest esteem to everybody in the chat. I appreciate for all of you coming in, saying hello, spending your time with me. I know everyone has busy schedules, so it really means a lot when you can come and visit us for a little while. And most of all, I'd like to thank everybody on the panel here. Without you, this stream would not be possible. Everything I learned is from you. And you guys always give me new thoughts and new directions to look from. Gorilla's Random Thoughts, thank you. And Antiderivative Jill, also appreciate it.
You're welcome.
PvP,
no
thank you for PvP, thank you. I love your light humor. Captain Infinity, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Pop Culture. You're a gentleman.
It is my pleasure. And Scotty, last but not least, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you for putting up with me, sir.
I love it. Without the one piece of you being here, we would not be a whole.
Yeah, I think I'd like to say everybody on the panel is awesome, and I enjoy your company, all of you guys. And it's great.
You crazy mofos.
Right, and when I say that you make us a whole, I want to spell it WHOLE and not the other way.
No, I got it.
Okay. Well,
oh man.
Lemon Pie, yes, thank you, curator and panel, Lemon Pie. And thanks to you, because it's all of you out there in the chat that make us everything we are. And without you, we would not be what we are. So I want to say have a wonderful night, everybody. And thank you. And I will see you all hopefully tomorrow on it's late, I'm tired. Antiderivative Jill's channel, first thing tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful night. And peace.